Hello, and welcome back, of course, to Vampire the Masquerade on Roll For It. We're playing our lovely 5th edition campaign, Silence of Shadows. So, very, very quickly, we're going to go through a load of announcements and all that jazz, and also everything on how we support the show, and then we'll dive in, because there's apparently stuff going down because of last week. Also,
wow, 50
holy,
sub bomb. 50 sub bomb.
Holy sub bomb. Yeah, like someone else did 20 earlier, that's another 50. Thank you very much, Combat Zerg. Wow. Okay, thank you, everyone. Right. That's a good way to start the episode. I guess someone's really happy that 2 of our guests have died. So, anyway, right, okay, supporter today is Mia Zilla. Mia Zilla, thank you very much for supporting the today's episode, making it possible to pay the majority of our cast cost. Thank you very much, Mia Zilla. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. Secondly, Patreon stuff. The Ascension GM notes for Soulspire Floor 3 and the Last Ditch Episode 1 character sheets and the first and second headquarters videos for the Last Ditch are now out. You can go check those out on Patreon. The Last Ditch headquarters videos are free. You can just check them out. You don't need to be a Patreon. They're just on there. So if you want to watch the behind the scenes like strategy. I was going to say strategic, and then I stopped, but it's pronounced different. Yeah, just give up. Anyway, words are hard, okay? The strategy stuff on the Patreon is free, so if you want to watch the behind-the-scenes stuff for The Last Ditch, you can do so. Secondly, monthly recap video is coming soon, and The Last Ditch has started. You can still get involved and join the rearguard on our Discord. So if you want to do that, you can get involved. And also, we now have the final trailer for The Last Ditch, so I'm going to play that for a minute or two. You can watch that, and then we'll get on how you support. Hello, welcome back. Right, okay, if you want to support, you can also support, I like that intro, by the way, I made it, but yeah. Anyway, if you want to support, you can support over on patreon.com/rollforit, where there's a number of tiers and different things you can support with, getting access to, like, the Discord, obviously, behind-the-scenes stuff, like after shows, there are MP3s, there's information about what's happening in games, and votes to determine, like, changes to campaigns, etc. I'm pretty sure that Rowan being kidnapped was a vote in season 1.
Bastards. The whole
Look
lot
where
of
we
you.
are now.
You want
now,
to know?
yeah.
You want
now
to
look where
know
that's brought us.
there were 2 pivotal points in season 1 with polls. That was one of them, and the other one was whether or not Vanessa got involved in trying to get the book. And she did. And that changed a lot. So
I reiterate my previous statement.
Yeah.
And
Bastards, the whole lot of you.
All of you suck.
be fair to
Hi, we
chat.
really love
I did
our
not
community,
give them.
but you are awesome bastards.
I did not give them a positive choice.
Yeah, that bastards, Mathis.
Anyway,
Mathis in chat.
we can do stuff over there. You can get involved. There's also a load of rearguard stuff you can get involved with. There's Names and Games the Hero tier. There's Legend tier where once a month one of our GMs will run a load of private session thing for people at the Legend tier. I believe this is going to be a Last Ditch themed one, and I, as the commander for the Last Ditch, will be giving a special mission to the people that will affect the war. There might be a second one as well, which might or might not be Last Ditch. Furthermore, you can support on Twitch. You can subscribe. You get emotes. You get access to the Discord. You get access to the shows before they go out on YouTube. Choice around for processing, and also you can use tips and bits. They go into the cup down there, and apparently one of them starts floating. I guess you can also gift subs, as people have very well demonstrated today. Again, thank you.
Yeah, the subs are still going off on it.
Really?
Yeah, there's still like all the 50 people that have subscribed.
Oh yeah, they're still popping up. They're still yep.
Yep.
You can enable in Streamlabs a gift sub thing where it's like if there's multiple subs, just does one pop up, and I'm like, no, this is more fun.
Make every single sub show up.
Every single. Someone did that to me once, and I had to like shout out every sub name, and it took an hour. But good fun. Anyway, you can also subscribe on YouTube, and you can become a YouTube member, subscriber, whatever it is. You get a funny colored name on our Discord if you do, and you get a couple of emotes. And that, I believe, is that. Oh, yeah, you can just tell people about the show and do, like, guerrilla advertising. I guess you could, like, shave a gorilla with the Roll For It logo. There you go, guerrilla advertising. Don't do that. Gorillas will probably murder you.
We still miss Harambe. Let's not do that.
Look, it could have ended differently. Just saying. Anyway, right. Hello, welcome to Vampire the Masquerade. Two things. Firstly, Vampire the Masquerade is a show that contains a lot of adult themes and content. If that is, firstly, something that you cannot deal with, you might want to just maybe watch a different show. But seriously, we're going to be playing characters who do terrible, terrible things. What?
Do I get that? Do I get that opportunity?
Your contract.
I mean, your contract. You already opted in. It's too late. You sold your soul.
Sign the dotted line here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that dotted line. I get you.
Making another red dots just for you. Right, anyway, yeah. If firstly, people playing characters, they are not playing themselves. It's totally okay to dislike a character's actions, but please don't hold it against player. Player is playing a role, and playing a terrible role is pretty much the thing in Vampire the Masquerade, because vampires are by their nature problematic, terrible creatures. Secondly, Vampire the Masquerade, being truthful to the source material, is a pretty problematic and terrible world. It's the world of darkness for a reason, not the world of happy-go-lucky sunshine and rainbows. That would be My Little Pony, which is also good, but very different. So, because of that, we're going to touch on a lot of problematic subjects, and that might be triggering for some people. If that is triggering for you, feel free to, you know, turn the stream off for a little bit, mute it, go get a cup of tea, or if you need to, skip an episode entirely. You don't need to just, like, watch every single minute of content. If it's going to harm you, feel free to tune in and out as needed. That said, to the person who is going to emotionally scar you, Mathis.
I don't do anything. You all make decisions. Tell me what I did last week that caused any of that. Tell me what I did.
This is a meme. You're literally the cat sitting at the end of the table, and we're all the players like,
Cheaty. Yeah.
Didn't do anything. I told
Mathis
you.
is also cat in many other ways. Like, you didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. You did it all. Push the thing off the table. Look what you did.
I just put the pieces into the same bar at the same time. So we open up today with a familiar sound. Instead of seeing a particular gunshot go off, instead we find Dakota climbing and clambering over some rooftops nearby on a similar block, as she does every night. Even though Ollie has told her to stay away, she still keeps watch on the bar regularly. But before she can get the bar into view, Dakota, you hear two definitive gunshots echoing over the silent night sky, merely a few buildings away. Worryingly so, where it's coming from. So as Dakota clamors and continues to sprint towards that area, and she peers over the nearest building across the street at Ollie's bar, what she's greeted with is a leg sticking out the front door, a hand barely like holding out open the door, and a body splayed out lying into the bar, a pool of blood forming underneath a very familiar face.
But can I see the person who shot?
Wits
Grant?
awareness.
Thank you, Roll20. Get with the program. Okay. Oh, I only rolled a 1.
You do not. You simply see what seems to be Grant lying in the open door to the bar that should be closed. The lights
there
are
peop-
off, and you see at the moment you see nobody else around.
Okay. Whatever point I'm from, I immediately jump to the street.
Sure. Can I get
toss
a
yeah.
Dex Athletics +1 for parkour?
Oh yeah. Let's have a 3.
Okay. So you very quickly leap off the side, grab hold of a fire escape, slide down as far as you can before the ladder runs out, and you simply let go, hitting the top of a dumpster, rolling off of the side, and breaking into a sprint across the street, getting to Grant in a very quick amount of time.
As soon as I get there, I whistle for the dogs. They're supposed to be here.
And as you whistle, you is Ollie downstairs? Is he? I can't remember. Is he staying in the bar?
Ollie's on the boat.
He's on the boat. That's right. So you whistle, and within a few moments, you actually can hear from the back one of them running through the kitchen, and they bust open through the door, and they run
and
over.
I'm like,
and one from the basement runs up from the basement and starts clambering up the stairs and make their way over.
I look at them. I point to Grant bleeding out, and I'm like, find him. Like, go, do what dogs do.
Yep, one's gonna make a roll as they smell. And as soon as one takes a couple quick whiffs, their ears go back, pin back, the tail goes up, and they sprint out the front door, one following behind the other. No barking whatsoever, just quiet growls and grunts, and they're off.
Okay, is Grant's bleeding out? Did the
you
bullets...
don't know how. I need you to make an intelligence medicine check to even know what condition he's in. Other than bleeding from the gut on the ground. As far as you know, he might already be dead.
Well, fuck. I don't have time for that, so I scoop him up.
Nope. You scoop him up.
Take him to the kitchen.
As you pick him up, the blood immediately coats both of your arms. What's your hunger at?
1.
You're great.
1.
You can, and honestly, you can feel the blood coating your arms, and for a minute, the beast maybe makes a little bit of a move, but you suppress it without even considering it, and you have Grant in your arms.
I run him to the... Slam the door with my foot.
Yep, you swing into the dining room, you slam the back door with your foot, worrying about the blood a little later. And where do you go? You have the kitchen on your right, you have the dining room in front of you, and heading to the back rooms would require you going to the kitchen.
Yeah. Just I'll take him to the kitchen and lay him out on what I imagine is like a prep food table.
Yep, there's just you've seen him cutting at the prep table many a time. You head over there. It's not big enough to hold his whole body. His knees bend over the end sides, and his feet dangle, but it's enough where you can get him laying on his back. You kind of just clang, plop him onto the thing, and as his legs go over, and we see Dakota wide-eyed looking over him. Do you take off his his shirt to see the wounds?
Yeah, I'll just rip his
You just reach in with no effort. You just hear the tearing of thread as his t-shirt comes undone, and you see one shot in his upper chest and one in his lower stomach.
Fucking A. Can I, as I set him down, like roll him and see, did the bullets come out of his back, or are they in his body still? As
you maybe even kind of quickly lift him to check, you do not see exit wounds.
Fucking A. Okay. This is where it's gonna get tricky. I'm gonna get really bold here, Mathis.
Okay.
Dakota sees, I'm guessing there's like a fryer or a grill.
Yeah, absolutely. You have a grill for burgers and a fryer for French fries.
Okay, perfect. I flip the fryer on. I turn it on high. I don't give a shit if there's anything in it or not. I look around for a flat spatula. Metal.
Okay, yep. There's a metal flat spatula not far.
I go over. I'm going to use my claws. Can I attempt to use like a dex medicine to pull the bullet out?
I will allow a dex medicine to pull the bullet out on the understanding that if there's a failure, you could do more harm than good. You could rip up the insides.
But I could. How?
You're not a doctor. You're just a gangrel who's got claws.
Yeah, but I can't leave the bullets in them and then seal them shut. That's fucked.
You kind of just means they need to open up later.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you could. You don't. Dakota doesn't really know
the
right decision here.
No, her gut instinct would be remove the bullet.
So if you're welcome to make a dex medicine check as you fish around on the inside.
Okay, we're gonna do the one not near his heart. We'll start in his gut.
You'll start with the gut, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start with the gut.
Again, you know he's bleeding out, and you know you're on a timer here too. But luckily, he's a ghoul, so he is gonna have the opportunity to heal, quote unquote, once a session. Okay. But he's currently all aggravated damage, so he's having a hard time.
Here we go.
With 2 successes, you're able to fish around on the inside, and you can actually feel the bullet on in there. And eventually, you're able to kind of scoop it with one of your nails and just pinch it. It was not a smooth exit. You actually opened up the wound a little further as your fingers and claws are wide, and you actually the blood begins to pool and pour a little forward. But as you slowly kind of pluck your fingers from his skin, and pull your fingers out,
my fingernails,
yeah, and you can actually see the bullet is like what you consider a hollow point, where the tip is like it's meant to do as much internal damage as possible.
Okay. Oh, fantastic. I drop it. Is Grant conscious?
It's like shattered at the front. What is Grant? What?
Conscious?
No.
Great. He might be. I take the spatula over to the deep fryer and stick it in to get it hot very quickly.
Yep. And so you just put it in the spatula on the inside. And, okay.
Because I can't use fire for this, so I wait and I wait. I give it just a second till it's hot, and I walk over and I'm just gonna seal his wound shut with the flat end of that.
And so you just walk right over. There's no need for a medicine check here. You just pressure and heat and hoping it's gonna be enough, and you just slam it down, and the smell of like cooking flesh immediately fills the nearby area. For those who are nearby, it kind of smells like bacon-y a little bit. It's actually not that bad smelling. But as you seal it shut, you can see the blood coagulate, go from red to a dark black, to eventually just a sealed wound that's just blackened and burned and blistered around.
Hey.
He's still bleeding rapidly from his other shot. From his
right. Okay.
Bullet.
I set it down. We're gonna do the whole process again.
Okay. This is gonna be more difficult and more dangerous.
There's nobody around. I didn't see anybody come into the bar yet.
No, this is the very beginning of the night. Crowley will likely be here within. He's usually the first one to arrive at the bar, but you guys have also had nights of it's been nights of separate adventures. Not everybody's been conglomerating at the bar recently. So at the moment, it's just Dakota.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. We got to go for it, right? I'm not ready to drop him at the hospital yet.
Willpower if you need it. You could.
Yep, I got plenty of willpower.
D10 to this.
Let's do that. Yeah, I settle myself. I'm like, okay, this is not.
You gain a hunger.
That's fine. I can deal with a single hunger. Worth it.
Okay. Add 1d10 to this roll.
No.
Again, it's hollow point, so even if you're pulling the majority of the bullet out, there's still a bunch of shrapnel in there, but you're getting a chunk of it out. Dakota wouldn't necessarily know what a hollow point is anyway. And with one extra success than you did the last time, similar to the last one, you're able to get in there, but you widen the wound. You do a little external damage on the outside, and as you kind of wiggle it out, you can feel it placed between the ribs. You're not even sure if it pierced the lung or not, but you're able to pull the base of the hollow point bullet out, knowing, again, there's still stuff in there. And do you do the same thing with a spatula, throw it in, and then just press it up against it, and he lies there unconscious, no movement whatsoever as the wound sizzles and cauterizes and closes and blisters nearby. You're not sure if he's alive or not, though. He did not react during that whole thing. You literally were able to dig into his body, pull it out, and close both wounds without him moving.
Did not. Oh my God. Okay, I scoop him up. As long as he's not bleeding out anymore.
His body just kind of.
Yeah. I'm gonna move him down to Ollie's quarters.
Down to his haven. Down to
there's
where
a bed. Yeah. And I'll drop him.
A deadbolt door. So you're able to swing in there with a heavy door. Slide it open. Plop him in the bed.
Plop him on the bed. Okay. He is gonna need some blood.
Possible. You don't know.
It's worth a shot, right? At this point,
you just to be safe, you just kind of slice your arm.
Yeah, I just slice my wrist and give him a little bit. Yeah, I'll give him another point of hunger.
Okay, puts you up to 3, and you kind of just prop his jaw open and just with one finger open his mouth and press your wrist up against it and just squeeze Vitae into his mouth as it very slowly oozes onto his tongue and rolls into the back of his throat. Eventually close his jaw and hope, fingers crossed, it's gonna do something.
Right. Yeah. Go to wait.
Okay, you just want to sit and wait?
I could go run get Ollie, but I'm waiting on the dogs to come back here too. And I know Crowley will be here. He's always first. He's coming.
And you've been watching the last few days, so you'll know Crowley's been popping back and forth.
Yeah, you've been. I know who's been by. Don't you worry.
So, Crowley will arrive before your dogs show up.
Great.
Crowley will show up maybe like 15 minutes after you put him downstairs.
Is he breathing?
It's an intelligence medicine check to see if he's even got that shallow breath and see if you can even pick up on it.
I just want to be able to tell Crowley something other than the fact that I flapjacked him to death.
No, you can't tell. You cannot tell.
Fucking A. As soon as I hear somebody upstairs.
Footsteps upstairs. Eventually you hear like just kind of a casual clop, clop, clop.
I see fresh blood. I assume.
Yeah, so Ollie, as Crowley, as you walk in, I'm assuming you coming through the back door always, because the bar is closed. So
okay, the back door,
front doors. Yeah, so through the back door, when you walk into the kitchen, all looks fine with the exception of the prep table. There is a pool of blood that is in the center and now oozing off the sides. What's your hunger at?
1.
Now you're fine. And then you can very quickly see like a drip of blood leading downstairs. And Dakota, you hear the entrance of the steps.
I come bursting out.
Before you even have a chance to move, you just hear boom, and here is Dakota kind of swinging out the back door from where Ollie's Haven is, looking a little rabid.
I'm probably.
What's going on?
Grant, they shot him.
All right, where is he?
Like gesture.
You make your way downstairs and into Ollie's Haven. Have you been to Ollie's Haven, Crowley?
I can't remember. Been downstairs now.
So you are greeted with a very simple, clean-looking room. An old computer from the early 90s sits next to a bed. A little chest that's shut and locked nearby, slid under his bed, I believe. And you have the boxing gloves hung up. You're muted, by the way. Sorry.
There's like a 6-foot tall armoire as well, so it's like where he would have his suits put in.
Yeah, and just nothing that's mind blowing, but relatively well kept and very clean.
Any pictures or anything?
There was one, wasn't there? It was knocked down by Dakota, though.
I knocked that over.
Yeah, so there is a picture frame face down on the nightstand that you can't see anything on. And Grant lays in the bed with the shirt ripped off, and you see 2 burned wounds on his body.
So they shot him twice. I dug the bullets out and I sealed it up. And then I might have given him some blood.
Okay, I'm pulling out my little first aid surgical kit.
Okay.
Plop that down. And I'm gonna check on him. Is he still bleeding?
What do you want to do first? You just want to check to see if he's alive first?
Yeah, I just want to like the basic first aid. Like, is he
intelligence
breathing?
medicine? Yep, intelligence medicine check. Does the medical kit give you a +1? I can't remember. Or is it just something you have?
It's something I have. It's up to you if it has any.
No, just do an intelligence medicine check.
2.
Okay, with 2 successes, it takes you a minute. You're not even sure for a while. You feel, and you don't really feel a pulse. You put you kind of open his mouth, and you're just like waiting for a breath. But eventually, you do catch the faintest of a little breath that comes out of his nose. He's alive, but you're not sure how alive he is.
What do we do, Crowley?
Right. Well, he's been shot twice. So, and look around. There's no exit wound, so I'm instantly going to be like, right. Well, I need to get the bullets out.
I already did that. They're on the counter.
I look at the bullets on the counter. I assume they're hollow points, so they're fragmented and shit.
Yep, they're fragmented. The top shattered at the front. You just have a solid base at the bottom left.
There could be some more inside. I'm not a surgeon. I can help. But he's gonna need help. Like proper help, not my help. Unless, like the other ways, if he gets turned, but I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
No, I can try and stabilize him.
Do that.
Okay. Well,
guess I'm gonna go get Ollie.
The rules as they are, for chat who may not know, mortals take aggravated damage from bullets, and in order to heal aggravated damage, they have to make an intelligence medicine check against a simple difficulty, and then they convert half their medicine check rounded up from aggravated to superficial, which for Crowley is a...
One.
One, yay! But it'll bring him...
What's better than none, Mathis?
Yeah, I'm not saying it isn't. Bringing him down to 1 superficial, and once a session, mortals heal double their stamina in superficial. But for ghouls, they heal double that. So, I mean, if you got him down to 2, whatever, but 1 is 1. And like you said, it'll bring him at least to stable if he's not too far gone. So you may make me that medicine check. Do you want to rouse the blood and add a +1 to this?
Do I need anything more than 1 success? Because I'm limited to 1 by my medicine.
No, you do not. With a simple as a difficulty of 1.
Okay, in which case I won't bother rousing the blood. I've got willpower.
Okay, cool.
That's, famous last words. I'm going to reroll.
Wow.
Yeah, make
Wow.
that willpower. Damn.
1.
Wow. All right, we got Hoof. You were able to pull it out, but you were able to pull a success out, and it was sloppy. You even watch him, Dakota. You're not even sure if you did worse or better than him, but he's got tools. So at the very least, he's not going in there fishing with a gross finger and like claws. So eventually, he does kind of what you do, Kyle, is you do reopen one of the wounds, and you do fish out some of the bigger hunks of metal, and they're twisted and warped, and you kind of place them on the nightstand nearby. And you're worried about going into the second one because he's already kind of at his last.
Yeah, like Crowley's like, I won't touch the heart bit. That's too dangerous. So instead, he like just ties off a couple of the bigger like arteries, and it's just like.
And you sew up the wound you best you can. And Dakota, he's lying there, and he's obviously not conscious. He doesn't look any better, but there's the obvious evidence that he has less shrapnel in him now.
He's still bleeding. Sorry, he's not bleeding.
He's still bleeding
he's still
out?
breathing.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Dakota, what?
Really bad time to speak.
Crowley, you're gonna give me a goddamn heart attack. Okay. Dakota goes, just stay here. If the dogs come back with something, it's mine.
Right. Beat it unconscious and hit for you.
I was gonna beat it up. And I leave out the back door, and I run as fast as my parkour legs will carry me to Ollie.
We will cut there then, from here to the boat, where there's no need to travel too far. Ava, I imagine you're going to be heading to the bar. That's probably where you're headed. So we'll go to the boat first, and then we'll cut to bar where Ava and Crowley is. So we flash to the front of the yacht docked nearby with the name half kind of washed out and whatnot. We see Dakota just kind of barreling towards it. Eventually, you make your way to it, and you leap on top. And Ollie, you actually hear clamoring and the boarding of the boat with no warning of anybody being there.
I start knocking at the port door that goes to the bottom.
Then you, right as you listen, you hear the.
Sure, I immediately answer.
There's Dakota's face peering in.
Shot.
What? Say that again.
I said Grant's been shot.
Do you have blood on you?
Yes.
On her
Probably.
fingers.
But yeah, my hands.
What are you at for hunger? Roll for hunger frenzy. Oh no. Okay, roll for hunger frenzy. Do it. This is a panicked moment. You have to.
And what's the
Oh
threshold?
shit!
What's
For the sight of blood. Oh god.
What's the
difficulty? Hang on. Don't roll yet. Let me just check. Oh wow.
Didn't we beat up last time?
But he's been healing.
Healed up.
Yeah.
It took everything to heal up.
Dakota wouldn't have known that though.
No, you asked me to stay away, so I have.
Yep. Okay, for hunger frenzy, taste just for the sight of open wound or overpowering smell of blood, while hunger 4 or higher is a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
So not too bad. That's the lowest it could be.
Okay.
You're fine. You see it, and you are, for a good 2 seconds, you are consumed by the sight of the blood, still dried and caked onto her fingers, but there. Your sight isn't able to snap away to her eyes for a good couple seconds, but eventually you can. But the thought, feed, hunger, is prevalent and present. Dakota, continue. Yeah, you said Grant's been shot.
Ollie hears it, but I suppose the representation for what it's like, you can see that there's a noticeable, like, borderline Parkinson's like shake over his body, and his eyes probably train immediately to your hands, seeing that there's blood.
Dakota is obvious. What are you at hunger-wise, Dakota?
3.
Mm.
And with the current, I still haven't healed up entirely. I still have 1 to go, so I probably still have a little bit of a beaten face.
But seeing that, and knowing that as well, Ollie would probably just say, "Go back," and he would find his way there. He's got to stop somewhere. He's got to feed. He has to. Seeing Grant, like, in any sort of situation like this, he would just become a meal.
So you're gonna have to feed. you're still gonna have to risk hunger because you're feeding at hunger 5 in public. And basically, the hunger frenzy while feeding means you murder them, you kill them. Just be aware.
I was gonna go through the sewers
and feed on
like rats if I
rats.
can.
You're just gonna feed on animals. Okay, so I'm still gonna need a hunting roll for sewerage.
Sure.
But you're not using your typical because you're not hunting humans. So I just need a what is it? Something survival. Wit survival is what I'm looking for here.
Oh, this is terrible.
You're just looking to grab rats in the sewer. You're still gonna. I will even give you a +1 though because sewers are kind of your home turf.
That
Ooh,
doesn't
Jesus,
make
man.
sense.
Did you just
You
eat
roll-
all the rats?
You just roll. Why did you 5 hunger die? It's automatically
doesn't make-
rolling 5 hunger die +2. What is your normal wits
3.
in your survival?
0.
So you should just be rolling 3 hunger die. So just roll
Yeah.
3 d10 and +1. So 4 d10
Use the
total.
willpower reroll button because that you can just type in a number and it will use the same format and all that, but it'll. I don't know
Okay.
why that's broken.
We're just
It shouldn't
okay.
be.
That's weird. So we just need 4 d10 total. Is what we're looking for. And we're looking against simple difficulty. You were able to find enough rats.
Well, it rolled.
2.
It rolled 7.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it did. It
more
rolled
again.
7 again. Jesus.
Do you have one of the boxes? Like there's a where you can adjust manually. Where is that on the sheet? I don't
I
know.
can
I
also
feel like
just flat roll 4d10.
Yeah, do that for now, and we can figure
I'll have
the
a quick
other stuff
troubleshoot on
out.
your sheet.
Hey,
Three
beautiful.
successes.
3 successes. You're able to feed down to 3 hunger on rats. You say you
Perfect.
find a total of 4 rats to completely drain. The first 2 are messy as we see one of the rats out in the open and Ollie eyes it. And before he even has a chance to try and sneak up on it, he just barrels towards it, almost clambering over on all 4s, desperately reaching out with a couple of his claws as the fat rat tries to waddle through a little crevice that's a bit too small for it. It's about to pop through before we see Ollie very desperately grab and reach its back leg and just rip it from the hole. Before it has a chance, you kind of put it in your mouth, and between your teeth, you just sink like a shark's bite into this thing. And you just kind of tilt your head back, and the blood just drips and pours into your mouth, allowing you to have your composure a little bit more for the next rat and each subsequent rat a little bit more refined before eventually you say you spend like 30 to 45 minutes down here doing this hunting rats, and you're able to finally bring down to 3 hunger and make your way to the bar. Before we cut over to the bar where Ollie arrives, Ava arrives first. Crowley, you're downstairs, I'm assuming, watching over, and you can hear the definitive clacking of heels in the
Yeah, I'd
back-
have popped
in the
upstairs real quick to
kitchen.
just close the door and clean up anything outside the front door, just so no one asks questions. But
Absolutely, you do it's not that bad. I mean, the blood's kind of nasty, but it's enough to get, you can clean up the front enough where it's not visible.
yeah, the sheet seems to be working. If you just want to give it a refresh, it's probably just like a desync issue.
Okay, sure.
Cool. Yeah, I'm downstairs with Grant.
Yeah. and so,
Hello?
yeah.
Ava, down here.
Ava, you do hear Allie kind of shout up the stairs. Ava, down here.
Are you hungry?
No.
Okay,
No.
come down.
Okay. Is everything? And I just like walk
Yeah.
downstairs and I see Grant.
Crowley's just like constantly just taking his pulse.
He's
What
got his wrist in
happened?
his hand.
So Grant was shot twice, and he almost died. Dakota did a reasonable job, and then I did some more, but he's still really bad.
Can I look over him myself and assess?
you're welcome
if
to.
I
What are you trying to
don't-
assess specifically? Just like,
I want to see. I don't know. I
you want to
feel
like do
Ava.
medicine check?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll do
Intelligence medicine.
check.
Intelligence
Okay.
medicine check. We'll see what Ava.
I don't know if
I
I.
was been hiding like 3 points of medicine this entire time.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah. No.
Well, one success. I mean,
success.
Before the wounds have been tended to, you would have seen him as dead. But because he's able to reduce 1 aggravated to 1 superficial, you're able to see he's barely alive, but he is just barely there.
This is bad.
Oh yeah, it's particularly
He's-
bad for Grant.
He needs actual medical attention.
I know, but also he is a ghoul, and that might look funky.
It's it doesn't matter. We need to make sure he lives.
Yeah, I agree. Dakota's ran off to find Ollie. When
My
Ollie
mother
gets
was
here.
a ghoul, and she
Oh, but it
had
does.
medical attention in the past, and it wasn't. It was the doctors were amazed by her healing prowess, but
Was it not
it
like
wasn't.
an issue?
It wasn't so much of an issue that it would be masquerade levels of breaching.
I guess over here you just pay people for medical attention, and I guess they're more likely to keep their mouths closed or something.
Yeah, it's not like us where there's clearly something wrong. I think we can. I really think we need to take him to a doctor.
I know, I agree, but I don't know what hospital to take him to, or if someone knows a back alley doctor, or
I don't
anything.
know either.
He's still got shrapnel in him. He needs medical attention.
None of you have contacts in doctor, right? So your best bet is your only
None
other
of
bet
us.
beyond self-tending is bring him to a hospital.
Okay. We could take him to a hospital and then wipe the medical. I could talk to my police.
I mean, he
contact
only got
about not
shot.
opening.
Genuinely, he only got shot. He didn't
Yeah,
get
but they'll-
supernaturally
Yeah,
hit by
but
anything.
they report
Yeah, but
all
there's a
gunshot
police
wounds to the
report.
police.
Oh,
Yeah.
certainly.
So
Oh,
that
yeah.
that would be where we would have to fix it up. I
Well,
talk to
you
my
can have that
police
conversation when the coterie all gets together.
Or criminal contacts who know back alley.
Ollie has criminal contacts and influence with organized crime. Plus, he
Yeah, you have
roams the streets a
multiple
lot.
dots.
They get shot
Well-
all the time.
Well, while we wait for them to get
Mhm.
back, I will just kind of like help Crowley where I can, and kind of just hold
kinda-
Grant's hand, just talk to him,
If
even if
you
he
take a
can't hear
seat
me.
nearby, and you grab
Yeah.
his hand and start talking.
Elevate his legs. That'll help.
Okay.
He's
okay.
missing like 2, 3, 4 pints of blood at this stage, so he kind of needs it down here and a point to his head and his heart, and not in his toes, because we don't care about them.
Okay.
Eventually, Dakota's be the next one to arrive, since she went right to the boat and right back. No need to feed. Dakota, you arrive and make your way downstairs to be greeted
Oh
with...
no! I mean, I
oh,
have a
yep.
need to feed. I have a
Okay.
need to feed if we
You
can
gonna hunt?
feed because I'm at 3 now.
Where are you gonna
so on
hunt?
the way back, I mean, I'm in my territory, right? Oh no! I guess
you
we
want
hit
to
the
hunt in
rack.
Northerly Isle?
Yeah, I can hunt in Northerly Isle. Can
Okay, give me your normal hunting roll.
I? 3.
With 3, you're able to find somebody that you're able to feed off of.
Perfect. Yes, and then I will skateboard my ass back to the bar.
Okay, cool. You will make your way back. Dakota will be the first to arrive.
You come in, you see that like Crowley's next to Grant's head, checking his like pupil reaction, like holding his wrist, and at the other end, Ava's just got his leg elevated like that, just standing there. Looks weird.
Is he okay?
No, he's been shot.
He's not okay. This
I
is not.
rake my fingers across the counter. I know that he's been shot.
Look, he's
I mean,
stable.
is he going to be okay? That's encouraging.
He will not be okay in the future, depending on if he gets medical attention. He's still got bits of bullets in him, and he got shot very close to the heart. I can't tell how bad. Could have punctured a lung. His breathing seems fine though.
I don't think it technically punctured a lung. Not that I know shit about that, but the only thing I felt were his ribs. You know, when I was digging around.
Right, that'd be the bullets I found in the kitchen. Okay, right.
Man.
As you
Where's
kinda,
Ollie?
Yeah, as you sigh and like, where's Ollie? You hear the heavy footsteps of Ollie entering the back door, echoing in as they make way downstairs. I'm assuming, and then
As
Ollie,
he
as
echoes
you-
in, I shout, "Are you hungry?"
No, Dolly's not gonna respond. Like if
Yeah.
in response, you just hear footsteps coming down the stairs.
I get down
Same
there,
visual. You see me holding
Yeah,
his
yeah,
legs
holding
up.
his legs up.
And like we're like makeshift doctoring here, but we're trying.
Ollie's wearing the white tee and sweats and sneakers that you brought for him. He looks quite a bit more like Chicago regular as opposed to his business normal. Seeing Grant, he immediately wants to spring into action, and he doesn't say anything. He just kind of grabs him and starts going to a street dock that he's aware of.
Move
that
him
works.
carefully. He's still got shrapnel in him. If you move him too hard,
He nods. There's just a nod, a curt nod with it. And he starts moving to the nearest street dock that he's aware of that works weird hours.
I'll drive you.
Is that, do you want the whole coterie to go out of curiosity, Ollie, or is it just a you thing? It's up to you.
They're pretty entrenched in everything that Ollie does up to this point, so it's good that they're aware.
You know Dr. Tina Byram, correct?
Yes.
That's the doctor you do know? Yeah.
Mhm.
So while it's not you visited her once this season, actually, I think early on, in an apartment that she was operating out of down towards Anarch territory, over by Archer Heights specifically. And that's where you end up heading again. Archer Heights still falls within technically Anarch territory, but as we're aware, it's also territory the Camarilla claims is theirs as well. But these past few nights, it's been rather quiet. And getting into Archer Heights is always rather simple, and no Anarchs seem to catch you at this point in time. And as you make your way to the similar building, a few people kind of buzz on the outside. People playing, what is it? What's that called? There's a couple kids that are like 18, 20 playing quarters. That's the fucking game I'm thinking of. They've got a cup at the end and they're flicking quarters at it and they're joking. But as soon as you start walking up, they stop. One walks away and one just steps in front of the door. And as you kind of step up, clearly looming over this kid who's maybe 5'6", 5'7" at best, but he's relatively well built. He just looks up to you with the body in your arms. Name?
Ollie.
You visited
Byram.
her?
Get Dog Byram.
He just nods and he just kind of puts up a finger. Minute. And he slips in the front door and shuts it. And you're left there for a little while. A couple others actually wander their way out the side and just kind of keep a distance, but their eye on you. They're not being subtle about it whatsoever. One of them even openly flashing a pistol that they kind of got tucked into their pant line. After about 5 minutes, the door just opens and the same kid who greeted you just nods and is like, "Sheila, this way." And he leads you in. He leads you up 2 flights of stairs to the top floor in a back room that is typically like what you consider a master bedroom of the upstairs apartment, but instead has been completely cleared out. And there's 2 bodies, one lying on like an air mattress in the corner and one that's being propped up on an actual medical table that clearly doesn't belong in this apartment building and has been placed here. And standing over it is a woman in just a plain white t-shirt and jeans with medical gloves over her hands and a mask over her mouth as she's looking up from the body just to see you. Oh, been a while, Mr. Hopkins.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I was hoping to make it longer, but shit happens.
She gestures to another open air mattress about 2 feet away from the other one. She says, "You can place him over there." What happened?
Well, from what I've been told, he's been shot a couple of times.
Once
Say
in
no
the
more.
abdomen, once in the chest. One in the chest went near hollow point bullets. Most of them got taken out, some of it's still in. The one in the gut has been cleaned out a bit better, but both of them still got shrapnel. Might be bleeding internally. Don't know beyond that.
As Crowley speaks and their attention is drawn to them, a couple of the nearby nurses kind of step away and give a worried look toward the doctor.
That done. I'm going to go stand outside.
And as he slips away and the doctor kind of watches him and the door shuts and he looks back to Ollie, "Interesting company you keep. Shot twice. Anything else I need to know?"
I need to know if he's going to make it.
She as you say that she brings over one of her helpers. You would consider them nurses perhaps, and she with their help moves the person who's unconscious on the table over to a nearby air mattress, and they bring Grant over and begin to work on him, examining the wounds. She actually looks at the one near the chest and seeing the bubbles from the burn mark, and the wound clearly has been kind of messed with. She looks down. "This is initial gun wound, but something else happened here. My question before are we going to be making anybody particularly upset by working on this man?"
No, he doesn't really have many people left. I'm pretty much the last person in his life and these people in this room right now. His name is Grant. He was an addict. He's on methadone.
Still,
But he's a fighter. And yeah, he's fighting it every day.
but is he still partaking?
I don't ask those questions. I trust
just
him to run my
nods and-
business.
Puts her hand up. "Well, Mr. Hopkins, as it is usually with this, it's the least I talk to you, the better. I will take care of him, and when all's said and done, I'll make sure you're contacted."
Is there anything that I can get you? Is
There'll
there
be
anything
plenty.
that you're without?
Yes, there is, but I can't handle that now. I have a busy night. We'll speak when I'm not And she kind of just gestures at the 3 people around her that need her attention, and she is just her and 2 others. The streets have been rambunctious these past few nights. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? And she actually gives not like a threatening question, more a genuine, like, if you have any information, this is best you can do.
Chicago lives and breathes, and it does what it wants.
It does live and breathe, and I understand that, but more rambunctious than usual for Chicago.
Doc, if I can be honest, I've been real decommissioned the last about month.
Understood. Have a good night, Mr. Hopkins. I'll take care of your friend.
Before we leave the room, Ava will just like grab his hand one more time. Stay with us, Grant, and she'll give him a kiss on the cheek.
You do,
He's
and you lean
unconscious, but-
forward and give him a kiss on his cheek and step away.
And leave. Yeah.
Did Dakota stay outside or did she not come with? Because, all right, cool.
I mean, if everybody hopped in the van, I guess I could go, but Dakota would not have gone if she had had a choice. But if she did go, she would definitely be outside the facility. She has 0 reason to go inside.
Yeah, my wonder is like, if you're outside the facility, I'd have a chance to have a quick chat with you. If you're not outside, because if you step the bar, that's fine.
So eventually everybody makes it outside. There's no time to linger inside the building. You're not welcome to hang out and play cards with whoever's downstairs. You're very quickly ushered out once it's clear that the doctor has what she needs and no longer wishes to spend her time talking to you. You eventually get to the van and make your way back towards the bar. You're all welcome to chat, but there's finally a little bit of depressurization now that Grant is in capable hands.
What did she say? Did she say he was going to be okay?
She doesn't know. She's not going to give me false hope. She's not that kind of a doctor. The street docs that you can trust are a little hard to come by. I trust Tina.
But she didn't say it was unlikely. That's something at least.
It's in her hands now. Who did this?
I mean, I don't know. It's got to be the Baron, right?
Who else could do it?
It's the only person I can think of.
I mean, anyone could do it, but no one else would do it.
Well, I mean, not to interject, Crowley and Ava, you had a visit a few nights ago, and you saw an incredibly pissed off Saito. I'm not saying it's something that would be like, oh, it's definitely
Doesn't
Saito.
seem Saito style.
Not his motive, but it's a possibility. Like he was pissed. Not worth bringing up necessarily now. Maybe the drive back is quiet. And after there's some silence and you arrive back at the bar, Dakota still being there, the 4 of you regather in the kitchen. Most of the blood has been cleaned up and the evidence that there was much of a fight was taken care of by Crowley before you left. So you're greeted with a clean scene with no memory of, no visual representation of Crowley's, or rather Grant's encounter. The dogs have returned while you were gone, and they brought back nothing. He was long gone.
Was this Rowan?
If it was Rowan, I think the bullets would be in the head.
This wouldn't be the first time that he hurt Grant. And if he's trying to leave a
Yes.
message, it's a real fucking important message.
I don't think he's stupid enough to come back again, at least not for a while. And this was careless. Grant was at the door, which means they shot him from the street.
Dakota, how quickly did you see this happen at all?
It was. I was a few blocks up, watching the bar. I got here just in time to watch him piss off, and well, I look at the dogs are not really hunting or tracking dogs. That's not what they do.
Why does everybody feel like they just gotta come here and piss all over everything that I love? I'm so fucking sick of it. Just show me who. Give me anyone.
My gut tells me it's the Baron. We've been gone for a while. Extended time since our little family vacay to the labyrinth.
It does
And
feel
then,
like him.
You know, a week of downtime to
I
Uh,
wasn't.
Dakota. Sorry, Crowley, what were you going to say?
No, you go ahead.
It was in the front of the bar, you said, right?
I did.
The front door?
Yes.
I'm gonna go over to the front door, kind of look at the scene, and try to invoke a premonition. See if I can get any details
Okay.
or
You want to
visions
force a
of it.
premonition.
Yeah, force a
Okay.
premonition.
That's a rouse check.
Yes. 1 sec. Rouse check. Oof. All right, I'm at
Chelsea,
hunger
can you
3.
bring your mic a little closer to you? I just
Yeah,
think
you
it's
guys were telling
distance.
me I was so loud, so I'm like, I'm
I
trying
know, but
not to
now
blow
it's like
your
you're
ears
like
off.
The
it's
gate's
the other way
coming
Trying
around.
not to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Hunger, you gain a hunger.
Yep.
And what exactly are you like touching? What are you looking to use as a vision? The door?
Is there any like remnants of the
You could
scene
use one of
at
the-
all?
You could
We
use
have
one of the
two
bullet
bullet-
casings.
Maybe I'll do that then.
That'd be,
Whatever
that'd be a better direct connection to what you're hoping for.
Yes. Yeah. Let's do that.
So we see
Okay.
as you go ahead and grab one of the bullet casings out front, scoop it up gingerly with your longer fingernails into the palm of your hand, and you briskly walk out to the front door. Perhaps bringing closer to the event will help you in this regard. And you sit down, pulling up a bar chair, and sit next to it and close your eyes, hoping to disappear into the nothingness of your visions. Can I please get your roll? Would you like to use a willpower? You can reroll 2.
I would like to. Yeah. Okay. I did click roll.
It
Did
did.
I got 2? You got 1 extra success, which gives you
Okay.
a 3.
Okay.
And as it typically works for you, when you go about these things, you can feel almost the sounds of the nearby area kind of go mute. Even if it's quiet, you still have the air nearby kind of whistling as outside through the door crack, and that kind of becomes deafening as you disappear into the world between worlds. And as your eyes open and you look at this distorted view, you see figures. Grant clearly at the front door, holding a shotgun. You recognize the tone, his voice, even if the words are hard to understand. But it's beyond him is what you see that catches your attention. Not one person holding a gun, but instead you see something very bizarre. A crowd. You see in the very front a distinctive figure in his obnoxiously bright clothing, his closely shaved hair, the tight beard, the Baron, standing pointing a pistol. But behind him, 20, 30 others, all pointing a pistol at Grant. And as the trigger is pulled, a wave of triggers is pulled, and you're cut. But I need a resolve composure check from you, please.
Okay. Resolve composure. Where is
Two main stats at the top.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 1 success.
Ava,
that it only
as
rolled
the
one
vision dissipates, usually you're snapped immediately back into the world, or you're brought further deeper, depending on what you're looking to envision here. This time, however, you almost feel the tug, the pull to a familiar place. You're not sure if you hear a voice in the back of your head or you're just remembering the voice. The words make no sense. In fact, they're not clear at all. They truly sound like a muffled noise coming through deep water. You cannot understand them. And you concentrate, you try. You remember that voice, it's almost like home to you. The tone, the sound. You desperately want to understand. And as you try to focus in on that sound, you try to understand what they're saying. Suddenly, black veins start to crawl across your eyes, down your face, and all through your veins. Through your whole body, they crawl. You start to feel ungodly pain. You take a point of aggravated damage.
Holy shit.
Wits awareness
Okay.
for the people out back.
Okay.
I wouldn't have my extra turned on.
No. only got a 1. Man, I'm like garbage today, gang.
Nothing for now. Nothing for now. I'm looking for 3, baby. I need a 3. Or, well, next one, maybe. Ava.
Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Mathis.
No, do you want to reroll?
Something. Yeah, I just think I get an extra.
For what?
Uh,
What gives you an extra die?
don't I have the eyes that see in the dark, but I don't know.
Would help you for listening. You're just listening right now. You're listening. You're trying
Oh,
to
we're
do
just
something.
audibly listening.
See,
Yeah,
the
okay.
dark just means you don't take penalties if they're active.
The next round happens, and you do not get a roll, Ava. You take another point of aggravated damage. Please tick it. As you take that point of aggravated damage, what you see before you is distant. That emptiness gives way to a flowing river of a black ichor below you. But unlike last time, it's not within reach. You reach out and your fingertip just barely doesn't reach, maybe an inch or two off. And as the sounds of that familiar voice come forth, you realize it's burbling forth. Every bubble that comes out of this weird river gives way to sound that you can't understand. And Ava continues to reach, clawing desperately. And you realize it's not getting closer. The river is getting further and further away. And as you reach and kick, you see that rose begin to rise out of that river. And as you go to grasp it, it can't be reached. Wits awareness for the other 3 in the back.
3.
Crowley, let me see the others.
She's becoming a Lasombra.
Oh my god.
Dakota and Ollie hear nothing. Crowley, you hear a little yelp come out from out front. Just like,
I quickly dart forwards because we were just attacked.
yep. And as you make your way out, you see Ava sitting in a bench. She's clutching something close. It's not, you can't see it because of the bullet casing, but you're watching as black ichor pours from where her veins would be. And instead of it just crawling and being visible, it's truly oozing from every vein, and it's dripping down her body and clinging to the chair as it oozes its way to the floor. She's crying tears of blood.
I yell to the others, right, we've got a situation going on. Run over to Ava, and I'm gonna just grab her and like try and like look into her eyes and just be like,
As soon as you touch her,
Ava.
it burns you, but it does not do aggravated damage to you, Crowley. It just take a point of superficial damage.
Hold on.
Yep, and you can hear like almost a sizzling. Ava, I would like you to make another resolve composure check.
Two successes.
You can re-roll one of those if you'd like
I'm gonna reroll.
with a willpower.
Oh, nothing. Nothing.
Take another point of aggravated damage as you continue to whimper.
I'm gonna die.
The rose gets further out, and not only does it now become just a blip, but you watch it slowly sink into that moving river below, swept away. Now no longer are bubbles coming up with voices, another familiar sight. Limbs are all climbing on top of one another with faces pressing out from the limbs, the mountainous of limbs screaming. You're not entirely sure what they're screaming, but their lips look like they're saying, Ava, Ava, as they climb and collapse under their own weight. Another resolve composure check, please.
Can I do a thing here?
What are you looking to do?
I in game and out of game, I have no idea really what this is, but I have some mediocre command of Oblivion and Shadows, and I have a first level ability that does allow me to like move shadows around me a little bit to be able to like make myself stealthy and stuff. Could I try and use that on the blackness on her to try and move it off her a bit?
I see what you're trying
It's
to
very
do.
weak,
You're welcome to make
so-
an attempt. What's happening here? I don't know. Give it a try. I'm willing for you to make a roll. So normally do what your normal like shadow movement roll is. However, the difficulty will be kind of a little higher.
There's no roll normally. If you want to treat it like a Oblivion ceremony, it will be Oblivion plus Resolve.
Give me an Oblivion resolve because this is not just shadows. This is beyond that. Much further beyond.
Can we see pain like visibly curling on her body?
Yes. Like I said, like you can see like the ooze coming from her veins. You can see her crying. You can see her quivering like and whimpering under her breath.
I'm gonna rouse the blood.
Okay, no hunger gain.
And then that was the wrong button.
Yep.
Good to know though. And I'm gonna willpower.
Okay.
5.
5 successes. What? And your goal is to move the stuff out of the way.
Yeah, because
to...
the only real ability I have on shadows is to like just like to have it bend around me and stuff. So I'm just gonna try and pull it away from her.
Make sure it doesn't pool and ooze near you and whatnot.
Yeah, just to maybe like slow it down if I can't like actually
as
stop
you grip
it.
her hand and like sit and take a knee next to her, you allow yourself to kind of focus in, and you can feel the veil here for a number of reasons, you're sure, but it's thin and enough for you to exert control. But you are unable to talk. Your eyes go black. And as you, the Dakota and Ollie watch, the black ooze that is crawling down her legs and starting to slowly pool by her by her feet, you see begin to ripple and slowly move in gentle waves further away from the chair, maybe by a foot or so. And almost, not in a perfect circle, but enough where there's a clear distance as it's beginning to move. And you actually just see Crowley just focusing, almost looking directly at Ava, saying no words, holding her hand as it ripples away.
Does this seem to be going on for a while?
It's been a total of like 10 seconds total. 3 rounds.
I look to Dakota. If this goes on much longer, you as a hound, you okay with me torturing her? Because she might need to go down.
Ava, while they're doing that, resolve composure, please.
So I did one earlier while Crowley was doing this stuff, and I rolled 1 success. Or should I do it again?
That was before. That was one before I called. Give me another one.
Oh Jesus. Okay. Okay. 1 success.
Okay.
I might die.
So,
You can't willpower that?
she could willpower one of them.
All right, I'm gonna willpower.
Okay, give me.
It'd be
give me a
worth it to
willpower
get the
roll.
2.
Okay.
With 2 successes after the amount of damage you've taken, with Crowley there holding your hand and attempting to. Ava, as you continue to distance yourself from this river, you actually see from you those strands, the abyss strands pulling forth from your back down to that river. Similar strands that you've seen on others. And they begin to grow taut the further you pull. And it's at a point where they truly act like rope. They string to the point where you can no longer move. The river is so far out of distance, but you can see all of the strands sinking into that river. And in the last moment, with one final hard tug, the strands pull forth, and with it comes something. You're not able to see it fast enough as you are loosened from all of those strings, all of them rooting from you and sinking into that river. You all of a sudden cannot see the river. You do not hear the voices. You feel no need to reach out. You're not sure what happened, but whatever that river was seems like a long forgotten memory. Something that is no longer really at the forefront of your mind. And as your eyes snap open and you see your veins, by the way, have all closed up, you can breathe, but you're in incredible pain.
You okay?
Ava just like her eyes are just darting.
Hey, it's okay. You okay?
No.
In the back of your mind, you hear a familiar voice whisper to you. One that you saw a few nights ago. It simply says, I love you.
Saito.
Where?
He came
I
by a
heard-
few days ago.
I know. Now?
No, I just heard him.
That's an interesting way to send a mail.
I think something happened to him.
What the fuck just happened? What do you mean, Saito?
I just saw a vision. I was just trying to get a vision of what happened to Grant and something else.
As you take a moment to gather yourself and calm yourself as you hear and remember Saito's mind, it's suddenly clear to you the feeling, that deep connection that you had with, whether it was the Abyss, a clan that wasn't your own, or even Sybil herself. The access, knowing that you could access and tap Oblivion for that power. Your blood feels closed off to all of it. You do not feel her presence. You do not feel as though you belong in the Oblivion Tree. For all intents and purposes, is entirely closed off to you now.
Yes.
Wow. Ava just like kind of is speechless for a few moments. I don't know what I saw. I saw the abyss again.
Okay.
It really hurt this time.
Yeah, you were steaming.
It still kind of hurts. I don't know what happened.
Take your time.
There was a river. That's all I can really remember. Something feels different. Something feels off. Did I do something wrong? I don't know.
You're okay, though.
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Okay.
I'll be okay. Sorry if I give you all a scare there.
Don't apologize for almost dying.
Maybe tapping into some of my powers is not always the best idea. Or maybe I should just have somebody around while it's happening.
I mean, we were around, we just didn't know.
Yeah, I was about 3 seconds from jamming something into your heart, so
I was probably about 3 seconds from dying. It really hurts.
Right.
Well, I saw things about Grant at least, and that's good. I got some answers. It was the Baron. I saw him. Clear as day. But it wasn't just him. It was something. There was people around him. But the Baron was there.
Kind of people.
I don't know, just people holding guns, all at Grant.
Well, he was shot twice.
It was probably symbolic of something. These visions aren't always as clear cut. I don't know what it means.
Definitely the Baron.
But it was definitely the Baron.
Oh,
in the
let's go
front.
fuck him up at some point then.
I don't think we're gonna have to. Aaron putting guns at the bar.
Yeah.
Well, Grant, in your vision.
Say that again, Dakota.
I said, I don't know that we're gonna have to. With the guns pointed at Grant, if that is your vision, if Grant
Yes.
is the bar, then they're coming to us.
That might be true. I think the Baron is ready to strike with everything he's got.
Oh. Well, that sounds fucked up.
I think it's time that we strike back with everything we've got.
I wait for him to come here and set a trap. Get him en route.
Hey, Dakota, refresh my memory here. What's the law on planned vampire v vampire attacks? How does that work in the Kindred world for the Camarilla law?
We shouldn't be seen by mortals, so maybe not in the streets. We're gonna need to clean our fucking mess up. Don't leave a trail. Technically, we, with the kindred, which we are not supposed to kill except in self-defense, I guess.
Well, now I had to defend myself twice, and now he's trying to make it personal. I can't say I'm at all opposed to delivering a specific message. A final message.
We
He's
can't.
on my last fucking nerve.
Yes, he's been on all of our. I don't know what you want to do. You want to go waltzing in to his territory, make a scene. It's a surprise we didn't have cops showing up at our doorstep tonight from the gunshot.
In that kind of neighborhood. We don't know where his base is if we do go looking for him. If we make a scene, he'll probably just send mooks like he's always done.
He's not going to show up.
Yeah, he is. I believe it. He's too fucking stupid not to. And you asked a question earlier, Ollie, and I think Ava. Well, I didn't even answer it.
We couldn't hear you there, Don.
Yeah. What?
I
You
said,
muddled up.
I don't know what else to do, y'all. My mag's at max.
It's not a problem. It's the off-axis. Anytime you turn away from it, it instantly starts cutting out.
See if I can get it in front of me. Is that better?
Yeah, great.
Okay. I think it's up to Crowley and Ava who need to let us know about our visitors that we had this week.
Didn't seem quite
And
as
the fact that
important.
Saito showed back up in your vision and all that.
Wait,
We did-
visitors?
Yeah, that Primogen person.
Camille.
Right.
Camille came by a few days ago because of business with us due to investigating a Masquerade breach. She was sent to investigate. And on the same day, of course, we get a visit from Saito, who came to investigate the death of the Giovanni Anarch. Both of them coming investigating at the same time didn't exactly end pleasantly.
Saito didn't come inside the bar, at least. We then went to my place to have a discussion, so it wasn't at the bar. Saito then did a whole The Last Jedi thing and turned out to be an illusion with a Force ghost
Oh,
or
what?
whatever. He was
What?
like, you couldn't touch him. He was all like a hologram.
Yeah.
It was weird. And then I think he burned my place down.
Wait.
Saito saw Cammy at the bar, and as we know, they had a history, and it was the first time them seeing each other since everything happened all those years ago.
Did Tammy get what she came for?
She said she wasn't gonna say anything, but she wanted to get in on the information.
What information?
looked at
The information.
Crowley.
And then Saito kind of spilled some of the beans in front of her. And then we kind of had to spill the rest. And then she threatened to mind control everyone into telling her everything. So,
Did you?
I mean, she knew it kind of already. Saito kind of told her. Also, Saito said that he was trying to break away and stop the sandwich from doing sandwich stuff. He seemed actually honest about that one. He seemed pretty irate.
So who's to say? Was Saito pissed? Who's to say this wasn't his? I don't know. It's hardly his style, but
I mean, he burned down my place, so I'm not particularly well disposed towards the guy. But
Didn't you just get that place?
no, the old place. It was a loner, which that might be a problem. I didn't have fire insurance either.
The bottom line is Cammy knows about the sandwich now.
Yeah.
If we didn't tell her, she was going to force it out of us.
Well, she had half the story from Saito, and we really just filled in a couple of blanks.
Man, it's a lot of news to come back to. That's a lot of fucking news to come back to.
Yeah.
Grant is shot. Fucking Saito's a Jedi, and Cammy knows, and like even more atrocities on board. Dakota doesn't know what a fucking Jedi is. Like this.
Where's the Jedi? Fuck it. I need some fresh air. I just need a second to simmer through all of this. Hey y'all. The battery's still standing.
Don't jinx it. Crowley touches a table.
It just collapses.
Sorry about that.
It is a lot to take in. A lot happened all at once while you guys were recovering.
Wait, so you said your place burned down.
I don't know. It was Saito.
What happened to him?
Right, so they were getting into an argument. It was getting a bit irate. And then Cammy tried to give him a bird. Not like the bird, but a bird. And the hand went straight through him. Like full on, like, force projection bullshit.
He wasn't really there.
Yeah. And then as we started
Having the
leaving, we noticed the place
conversation.
was on fire. There was an unconscious person. Saved her. Fire was just burning. Never saw Saito again. Well, I guess they've just heard from him. Yeah, and then Cammy came here with us, and then Cammy was like, I want the rest of the information. And I was like, well, sure, you don't need to be quite so threatening. She's...
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wait. When was this?
Like 4 days ago. 3 days ago.
But nobody's come by since?
All that I've seen. Pop by now and again to check, but...
I haven't seen anybody else, right, Mathis?
Mm-mm. Also, that sounds way better.
That's good. It's when I use my Dakota voice.
Ah.
It can't pick up the low tone. It cuts out
Gotcha.
every time.
Yeah,
Well,
3
then.
days.
I don't know.
Maybe with
Saito just... I heard his voice just now.
In detail, did he say anything worthwhile?
He told me he loves me.
Ah,
You could always try to contact him. You know you've been able to do it in the past.
I actually want to.
Premonition.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to do this.
Hey, I don't that's you apologize for something you ain't done yet, so can you not for a second? Let's just talk about it. All right, let's just talk about it.
I need to talk to him.
Look, you see the floor right there? That's
If
something
something
Gone.
happens-
It's gone. It's gone. That black ichor is gone now. When you look back,
Put
it's
me
not there.
in goddamn torpor if you have to. I don't care. Just
you don't care? Oh, stop. You gotta, like, slam the fist down. You don't fucking care? They refuse to stand around and torpor or put any more of this coterie into an infinite fucking sleep and healing process. The veteran just got the fucking door open tonight, Ava. And all you care about is your precious Saito and his tacky ass green shoe telling you he fucking loves you? Let me tell you something, Ava. The deal was he didn't get to come back here anymore. In fact, one showed up already looking for another Masquerade freak. Is
I'm sorry, Dakota. You sound like you're
I'm
underwater.
sorry, I'm not trying to.
I see.
No, I know it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Yeah, it's not your
still-
fault. It's
funny.
not your fault.
It's just the juxtaposition between the very well-delivered speech that we're getting a fifth of, and then the underwaterness of...
Sorry.
It's
Yeah.
a lot.
It'd be angry
But
dot. It'd be
I
angry
got the
dot.
gist. I got the gist of that. Yeah,
Dakota says no. Dakota
Yes.
says no. You're not
Very
going
angrily.
anywhere. You're not doing that. She probably breaks a stool. She grabs Ava by the throat and she puts that broken leg right to your heart.
Okay, hold up. Are we frenzying here?
No, this is totally controlled. This is Dakota making a point.
You could ride the wave. You'd have control over your frenzy. I'm just saying.
Great.
So she kicks the chair out from under you. It shatters. She takes an aggressive step forward before Ava tries to defend herself. And before you can, a gangrel's hand is around that Toreador's throat. Ollie and
I
Crowley
will
are both
try
standing
and
there.
step in.
I'm making a point. This is not, it's very clear
Yeah.
I'm not actually trying to kill her.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it looks like you're trying to kill her. Just it looks like you got aggressive fast and like
I did.
intimidation.
And I
fast.
grab a stool and
Yep.
I press it against what I assume is Ava's very bare chest.
I kind of put like the backside of my hand, just like cautiously against Crowley. I just say, let's just fight.
What you want, Ava? Or stake to the heart. Look me in the eye and tell me Saito is fucking worth it.
I think he's in danger, Dakota.
Don't give a flying Methuselah sleeping ass. Who is in trouble? Who isn't? Yes, Saito. It's got nothing. Trouble, this coterie.
Look at yourself, kid. What kind of shape are you in to do anything right now? You think Saito would want you coming after him all beat up? Beat the fuck? At least heal a little. Give yourself a chance. You can't step into any ring with anything right now. If he's there and he can respond, he'll respond tomorrow. He'll respond the day after when you're capable. Because if you go through what you just went through again, you might not walk out of it. And then you'll never hear from him.
It's your choice. For the record, they're right. But it's your choice. And I pull out like a storm light from my bag, and I'm just going to put it on the table. I'm just going to turn it on to max.
Ava tries to nod, even though she's still kind of like in a grapple from Dakota, but she'll just nod.
Oh no, I would think when Ollie starts to speak, she drops the leg, puts you down, and walks out the fucking back.
Then when Crowley speaks, Crowley goes over and hugs you.
Ava knows something's wrong, so she's gonna get very emotional for a moment. But she's not gonna do anything about it.
You need to heal.
You need to heal. You need to roll some rouse checks for me as you attempt to heal 1 aggravated damage. 3 rouse checks. So just
I'll heal my superficial.
Okay.
I'll suppress that.
So you need to roll me 3 rouse checks, Ava, as your body attempts to heal 1 aggravated damage. Hunger gain. What's your hunger at, by the way?
It's now at 4.
Okay, you got to go again. You can't stop halfway. Give me 2 more. You're at 5. Give me another. Okay, you're at 5 hunger. You are awake, but you heal 1 aggravated damage, and now you are to the point where you are consumed with the thought of feeding. The beast is knocking on the front door, and it wants nothing more than to satiate its hunger.
I look at Crowley. I need to feed right now.
All of us do. We all need to.
I need to feed right now. Yes,
okay.
I will.
You just like, yes, and you just reach over.
Yeah.
Just pick up like a table knife and just...
Roll me a hunger frenzy, please.
Okay.
Okay. As soon as you touch the blood, the blood hits your lips and you begin to drink. Crowley, you can feel it instantly. She becomes voracious the minute the blood touches her lips. And as you try to pull away, she does not let go, and her eyes widen, and she just begins to just drink and drink and drink. So first, the question is, she'll take 1 point, and that's how the point is she's going to go down from 5 to 4.
Okay.
Then it becomes a contest of strength brawl to push her off because she's grappling at this point.
You'll probably
I'm not gonna stop her.
You're just gonna let me continue to feed?
Yep.
Hey, she's just going to feed until you stop her, or
Until I get to hunger 4.
And what are you at?
1, so she can get 3 points off me.
So she takes 1 right out the gate, putting you at 2, putting her at 4.
And as this is happening, I'll go, Ollie could do a little bit of help here in a second.
Ollie, I mean, you both can see as she begins to drink, you see the animalistic look that crawls over her usually well-composed face. It's easy to see. But at least she's locked and she's feeding.
Right, I think that's about enough. Do you mind taking
Okay.
You want
her
to
off?
Do you want to
Yeah.
stake her? Is that the plan, to stake her?
No, just pull her off for a little bit. She'll calm
Ollie,
down.
you want a
eventually.
strength brawl? Just give me a strength brawl roll
Yeah.
versus her strength brawl roll, which is not going to be well, but she's going to try. She's frenzying, so you do get a +2 to this roll, Ava.
Okay. Let me just roll.
Well, you're still going to get your roll, all right? You still get to roll
Okay.
3d10.
The best you can get is 5 successes.
I mean, hey, you never know. That'd be hilarious if she rolled 3 10s.
I'm just gonna roll
Strength brawl +2. Okay, yeah. Crowley, Crowley, you watch as Ollie just takes a couple steps behind her. Ollie, how do you do it? Do you just like a lock under her chest, or do you just kind of like grab her by the shoulders and rip her off? What is Ollie's tactic here, just to kind of pull her off?
It's pretty much to sweep up under the dominant arm, grab by like the side of the head and jaw, and start to like lift away.
And so you just kind of pluck the fangs from the flesh as she kind of hisses a little bit and is trying to take more. But she's not going to be able to fight. And so you could lock her up for the rest of the night until she's fine. But how many points of hunger did you give her? 3? So you're going to go from 5 to 2. And more or less over the course of time, you will be brought down from the hunger frenzy. I'm not going to have you like lose your mind. You're not going to be able to beat Ollie holding you down. It's just not going to happen.
And then how much do I heal from this?
You only get to heal one aggravated a night. So you got your
Okay.
1 aggravated healed. You can't make another try until tomorrow.
Okay, got it.
The danger of aggravated is like you have to roll 3 rouse checks to heal one on top of the rouse check just to wake up every night. So it's just that's what is going to keep you out for a while.
Okay.
Eventually, though, the frenzy subsides. She's composed and she's not as hungry anymore.
You good, kid?
Yeah, thank you.
Come on, stand up.
Yeah.
Did she heal at all? Like, is there anything noticeable about it?
She did heal 1 aggravated. You would have seen like the physical heals of like the bursted veins and whatnot slowly coming back together, but not fast.
Thanks, Crowley.
No
How about
problem.
you? How are you doing?
I feel a little better now.
Crowley, you?
Yeah, hungry. I can keep it together till I get home.
Can we we need to turtle up for a couple of days and sort of pile in some resources so we can get some blood.
I think that might be best.
We got to be careful how we do it though, because I mean, we just can't shop from the same store, if you know what I'm saying. We got to thin it out a little bit in places. So if we can find a way to get some food. I know you got a particular diet.
Yeah.
Ava has a club she could go to.
I have my particular diet also. I can go there.
I don't suppose if we are turtling up here, you have a spare set of all your kitchen. You don't want me using the normal kitchen stuff for human meat, right?
Well, I mean, I didn't really think about it.
Well, if we're turtling up here, I'm gonna need to either bring a whole load of kitchen stuff, or I'm gonna have to use yours. And I know some people are a bit.
No, it's
Is it
all right.
safe for us to stay here? We know the Baron is after us.
If it's not safe for us to stay here, he might well just burn the fucking thing down.
Well, I mean,
It's
if
true.
we don't, if you're not feeling comfortable here, I am practically the proprietor of the entire block at this point. So
We could at least keep an eye on the place.
yeah, I mean, next door is more or less a temporarily vacated factory. So plus, I've been trying to put in some work to solidify an area. I wonder if anything has arrived. Can I go check to see if anything that I may have tried to requisition has arrived before this room?
You
that
certainly
we
would have
first
had
came up with?
some things arrive between the month that you put in the request and then the time you were out from aggravated damage. Whatever it is, do you have a list of things you requested?
I don't.
specifically?
It was the Chianti room, so it's
Yeah.
more or less like a large portion of a floor where I've started.
That's
ordering.
well underway at this
Yeah.
point, if not almost done. From a month of work on it.
Yeah, then I can just take them there. It's a light safe room.
Yep. So like 1 point, basically. And you want to huddle there for a couple days?
Yeah, and it's just in the factory next door. I want it to be as close.
It's not.
to
Is it
the bar as
across the
possible.
street or on the same side of the?
It's just the opposite side of the alley.
Okay, so behind you. Gotcha. Sounds good. And you will hole up there for a couple of days. Who needs to heal aggravated damage? Just Tracy?
I have one left.
Okay. So does anybody want to talk before we move to the next night?
I would like to go hunt and stuff, but
Beyond that.
I'd like to reach out and find Dakota.
Yeah, I mean, you're all in the same place. So as you kind of move everybody over to the other building and everybody's settling up and maybe getting ready to kind of separate and do whatever they got to do for the night, yeah, you have an opportunity to grab Dakota.
Okay.
Is my sound better?
It's understandable. And that's
Great. That's a start. I'll fix that on break as long as you can understand me.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So what did Dakota go far? Is she just outside?
Rooftop hidden. She
Rooftop
has
hidden.
kept quite a bit of distance, exactly where she started tonight, watching the bar.
Yep, across the street on top of a building.
Then you would probably see Ollie walk outside and looking around. It's going to be fairly noticeable.
He's doing it on purpose. Understood.
Are you expecting her to reach out? Because she's not gonna.
Well, I mean, I'll spend a few minutes looking around. I'll probably, even since you said that you were watching from the rooftops, I'll just start looking around to the top.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say I'm hidden, but I'm there.
You would
watching.
eventually see a familiar figure hunched on a building across the street.
I'll look around. How is it looking? Are there a lot of people
Quiet
out right
night, where we're late in night and not a lot of people walking around. I'm sorry, what was the specific question you asked?
I mean, if there's nobody out and around, then I will I'll soaring leap up.
A few pedestrians milling about, but nothing that's like crazy.
Okay, then I'll walk over to that alley, the building that she's upon, and I'll leap up.
Yep, and so we see Ollie kind of just walk over down to one knee and then a jump, and then with a quiet landing at the top of the roof behind Dakota. Dakota, you saw him walking across the street, so you know he was coming.
I'll land and I'll just wait to see if she says or does anything at first.
Are you invisible?
No. He looks very pedestrian.
Are you gonna have a seat or just stand there?
I was gonna give you a moment to see if I was invited.
I haven't gone anywhere, Ollie. You're of course welcome. Come have a seat.
I'll walk over. I'll pop a squat. You're not wrong. You're not wrong about her. What you said, it's completely right. And you totally have a right to be angry. I mean, I'm shitty too, but you were mad enough for both of us back there. I just tried to come at it from a different angle.
Maybe it didn't need a different angle.
You feel like I undermined you?
No.
Look, I ain't mad that you came back around the bar. Honestly, I'm Grant would have died.
Ollie, I never left this bar. I watched it all week. So did the dogs. I just am mad I wasn't there.
I'm sorry.
Don't you dare fucking apologize, Ollie. Stop.
I know you wanted to come down. I know you did.
I'm not upset with you. I needed to heal too, so maybe it was the best thing, right?
Can I just have some word vomit for a moment? Can I just like spew some shit out?
I guess I'm not going anywhere, and I can't stop you, so.
I'm gonna completely set my personal feelings aside, but you should know that what happened was shitty. I didn't even know that I was capable of doing that. And I feel, and I explained even to Crowley, that I felt like I failed. That I was in that moment, that I'd become the ultimate failure. And I know you don't need me to apologize. And I'm not saying sorry for me. I'm saying sorry for becoming everything that you more or less prophesized was gonna happen. I didn't want to be that. You didn't need that. And I'm sorry for being that. And I didn't ever want to see that. I didn't really want you to see it either.
Ollie,
Really unfair.
life is fucking unfair. I learned that long before this life. And you don't have to apologize for your beast. I knew what I did when I stepped in front of you. And I didn't do it for your fucking beast. I did it for you. Because if you had hit those streets and killed any innocent person, well, I don't know, we would have gotten Ollie back, you know? So what's a few sucker punches? If it means we get to keep you around. Nobody said our beast was gonna be pretty. And last time I checked, we're kind of stuck here for a long ass fucking time. So I guess it was bound to happen, right? Meet your beast.
It's scary.
Yeah.
It's way scarier than I ever imagined. And well, I'm afraid. Look, I've stood toe to toe with men bigger than me. I've boxed and punched up consistently. And in that moment, I felt like a nightmare, like a tyrant. And I was just punching down. And I don't know why, but what you said was right. You told me a long time ago there's something that feels good about it, but it wasn't my mind. It's like I took back seat.
Yeah. I know. You can't hide from your beast, Ollie.
I don't want to hide from it. It's a big bitch anyway. I just don't want to let it back out. Otherwise, well, shit like that's gonna happen. What would happen, Dakota, if Ava was in that spot? If you had got there a little later? I'm real fucking glad that you're fast. You were spry on your feet. But even you gotta admit that she would have just been 2 parts kindred in that moment.
The beast doesn't just come out of nowhere, Ollie. I spent a week sitting on this rooftop licking my wounds. Do you know what I came out of it the other side with? I can't I can't help you with Rowan anymore. I cannot. Because I can't help something that brings out the worst in you.
I know. You don't deserve that.
No, Ollie. You don't deserve that. The beast showed its ugly face because of Rowan. He's your flesh and blood, and I have always been very understanding of that. And any time we've gone toe to toe, at the last second, you always hold back. You even managed to do so in the alleyway. But I'm 3 for 3 now. And eventually, my luck is gonna run out.
Let me teach you. Let me teach you what I know. I don't know a lot of things. But I've been dusting knuckles for a long time. And I can at least help you to defend yourself. Because I don't think anybody else would have been able to stand with that. Maybe Cammy? I'll tell you, I hooked her right in the chest once. Felt like I fucking punched a truck.
Cammy.
But I mean, if you don't want to, then I understand. It just would help you. If you know I become like a loose cannon or something. But it's neither here nor there. I did have something I wanted to ask you. I know you've been fighting this thing on the home front with your clan, right? There ain't like nobody here. There's no gang rules.
Yeah, I know. Seems to be the way, as I've been told. Some things just are.
It's a lot to take on. And I totally understand if you say no. I totally understand it. I get it. But saying that we can get permission, would you be willing to sire Grant?
Sire Grant? Why?
Because I don't want Grant. I don't want him to die.
But he will die. He will.
He's gonna die regardless, right? Look, he lives as a human. He gets old. He watches everyone around him die anyway. He suffers dementia, addiction, and he keels over, sad, old, and lonely. But he's entrenched in this, and he knows everything that we are. He doesn't know all the rules yet, but at least he's aware of some shit. And I just wanted to present it to you in case that comes up. Because we weren't given that option, right? Like, it was just kind of, I mean, it was thrown on me.
You want that for him? You want this life for him?
No, I don't want him to die. I mean, he's going to die regardless, but at least he can stand up on his own 2 feet at that point.
You're right. Then my suggestion is we take the fighting from his front door.
I'm not saying right now. Look, I'm not saying right now. I want you to mull it over because I know Grant's going to come out of this. I know he is. He's a fighter. Plus, he's got my blood. And I know that he's going to not get any older, so he's going to have lots of time. Lots of time to really mull that thought over. Chicago's shaking and moving. And he's fucking loyal. Fiercely loyal.
Yeah, to you. Why don't you sire him?
Because I just want to make sure he's got options.
Great. So he'll become a gangrel. A clanless kindred. He'll be fucking...
Maybe here, maybe right now, he's a clanless kindred. But just because you don't have other people standing over the top of you, telling you that that's the way it is, Butcher, and taking you into the fucking labyrinth, locking you away, making you fucking fight werewolves and shit. That's not the way. You can set those rules and show them how to gangrel.
I don't know how to fucking gangrel, Ollie. My sire left me and dumped me here, and then I don't know, showed up with all of you. I don't know anything. The most I've ever gotten out of a sire was Bella. So what the fuck do I know about being a gangrel? Grant deserves so much fucking more in this life. When you were out cold on that boat, he begged us. And if you didn't think I didn't think about turning him to night, sitting there dying, you're crazy. But I can't do that to that man. I don't think, anyways. I know you don't want him to die, but it sure is nice to be able to die.
I just wanted to put it on the table.
Is that what you really want?
To see someone have a choice? Yeah, it'd fucking make my day, night, life.
I mean, he had a choice to be a ghoul, right?
He did. He did. But it's messed him up even further. But I wanted to put it up on the table. You know, like I said, you can say no. You're not gonna hurt my feelings about it.
I just wouldn't even know where to start. Ollie,
Same, but we all gotta start somewhere, right? I
then
mean, sure, you... Go ahead, sorry, I didn't mean to...
No, it just... Maybe it's best for him just to stay, Grant.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Ollie, I would... literally take a punch for you. I would make sure that, as I have tried, that nothing stops this.
I kind of gesture around to this whole block that now belongs to you.
I
It's
swore,
still in the middle of reconstruction and gentrification.
but I swore I'd keep Grant and Haley. I would do literally anything for you, Ollie. So if that's what you wanted to... And I was given all the right permissions. I just don't know that this life will offer him anything.
No. Chicago is a way of anchoring you down. It sort of tethers you, wraps you up, and pulls you into the earth and holds you here. Grant's stuck. He's got nieces and nephews. He's got family. I helped him out when he was on his worst days. He came to the clinic. Well, he came to the bar because he knew that I was paying the homeless. And I wasn't lying. I gave him methadone. I gave him all kinds of things. Anything to help him stop, taper him down. But just like he was addicted to a drug, we're addicted to blood. We're our own beast. We're all addicted to something. We all got a vice. And I'm not going to blame it on anything or anyone. Victims of circumstance or not, it doesn't matter. We're all stuck here regardless. But I didn't really have a choice. I didn't have an option. And my babysitter lied to me. They called him a mullah. He said he was going to help me, teach me, show me the ways, show me how to be a Nas. Like him. Come to find out, years later, he wasn't even a Nas.
You gave Grant a second chance already. So why would you take that from him?
You give him chances every time I can.
And who says you're not doing a good job at it? Why change it? God, I wish somebody had given me a second chance in my real fucking life. Not the second time around. And I know you fucking get that, Ollie.
I do. Hey, we can table it, okay?
Yeah.
I wanted to show you where my mind was at.
Do me a favor.
Anything. I owe you anything.
You don't owe me anything, but I will ask a favor. The next time, because there will be a next time, that I have to come face to face with your beast. Have the guts to look at me afterwards, please. If I had to look at you as I ripped you to shreds and carry your body from here to the boat, I deserve the respect of you having to look at me afterwards.
You deserve at least that much. It's literally the minimum.
That is all I ask. I know what I'm good for, Ollie. I'm beginning to see why Bella keeps me around, why she even fucking cared. Some things don't ever change. And I'm really good at taking a punch.
You're not wrong. You're still walking.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna keep taking punches. Because that's about all I'm good for. Until I figure something else out. But, I'm not taking punches for anybody but our coterie anymore. And when all is said and done, and we have ripped everything away from the Baron, everything, well, I'm gonna get my clan back.
And on that last line, let's fade to break. And we'll be back in 8 minutes.
Please enjoy your snacks. Feel free to go use the toilet and be back here in 8 minutes when we'll be back for some more heartwarming goodness.
Always heartwarming.
Yeah.
Because, all of our hearts beat.
Yep. Heyo.
Welcome back, everyone. We're back with Vampire the Masquerade, Sons of Shadows, 5th edition, roll for it, all that jazz. Take it away.
The camera actually will reopen on Ollie and Dakota after maybe a few minutes of silence after that last line was kind of spilled forth, and you mull it over for a little bit and allow peace to fall over the night, hearing the chatter of other pedestrians pick up as the night picks up as well. The sidewalks getting thicker with seas of people.
Yeah, you need something more. Yeah, at least I think you do. I mean, it's kind of your call. It's kind of a bit of a touchy subject, but you need, you're gonna need something more for, like you said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that comes out.
Okay. Yeah.
Why don't you take some of my blood?
I don't really do that, Ollie, anymore.
You've given me your blood 3 separate times. In moments of, honestly, scary times, but... Well, I don't know any time that's been scarier than that time. Period. It's been the scariest time of my own life. And I can't imagine it was probably one of your favorite. But you can say no. And I will understand for whatever reason. But I think it can help you.
So what, I just get more powerful after I drink from you?
No, it was something, I can't remember if it was Snitch or if it was Rudy, but, well, like they said, that when you taste another kindred's blood, you can gain access to their powers, to their disciplines. And I mean, they also said there's a lot of teaching that goes into it, and I'm a real shit teacher, but if there's one thing that I've grown accustomed to, it's using these abilities that I kind of have. And I don't know if you ever had Nos blood or not.
No, I can only say I've had Bella's blood.
Oh, I get it. I'm that's shitty. Well, I don't know how to do what she does. And I'm not gonna, like, make you do shit you don't want to do. If for anything else, it's friend to friend. It is a courtesy. And I know you're a little hungry too.
Yeah.
Take just enough. Ali will kind of like pull down the shirt.
Dakota hesitates, and she'll slowly bridge the space between them. Last time she was this close, she got punched. And she kind of takes her time, gets into your personal bubble.
I don't know if it's gonna hurt or not. I'm nervous.
Ali doesn't say anything. He just kind of keeps his head turned, but he'll pull his hand up and sort of like touch your side.
Okay. Yeah, Dakota will step in. He's probably so much taller than her. She has to get on her tiptoes to reach his neck.
Yep.
Ollie's also like, he's sitting on his ass at this point.
Oh, okay. yeah, I guess she goes over and we'll drink for Molly.
And as the feeling of the kiss ripples through Ollie and Dakota sustains herself, the camera will then fade and cut over to the bar where Ava and Crowley have been talking.
Ava's been kind of like, she's been seemingly distant, clearly pensive. I'm still trying to figure out that vision I had. I know you have some connections
You make me sound
to
like
the-
a mob boss.
It kind of is like that in some ways. I know your connection is different from mine, but I don't know. The vision I just had, it felt so off. They've always been frightening and
But they've
I don't
not
know.
always killed you before.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely
Exactly.
different.
Well, there was that first time, but it didn't actually hurt.
Wait, what?
That first time when I did the connection with Saito and when I had the black veins coming.
So it doesn't normally hurt when you do a Saito?
No, it doesn't.
Okay. And it didn't hurt the first time you did it with Saito, but it did hurt this time?
It did. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What if something's changed now? The connection, what if it's not there anymore?
I mean, he did seem to be acting a little weird last time we saw him. Less controlled, more honest.
Yeah, he was different. I don't know if it was...
I preferred him like that, actually.
I don't know if it was seeing Cammy again. It's changed him or... something else.
How did that make you feel? I know you have feelings for him, and having him in front of you, almost blanking you out, it's got to be rough.
It was a little rough, but I understand. The two of them were inseparable. But hearing those words from Saito in my head, I know he did care about me. I've never actually heard him say that before. That he loves me.
Listen, I feel like I'm a broken record, but this comes with a massive caveat. I am new here, but based on what the others have said about him, it does sound like it could be a classic abusive relationship. He feels rejected by Cammy, rejected by everyone, and then decides to escalate by going to another level with you to try and pull you back. Might not be the case. Could be misreading it. But I'd be cautious.
So what, should I just forget about it then? Should I just move on and not sit here and wonder?
I'm not the one to tell you to not think about things and wonder about things. Half my brain's still thinking about my daughter and will be for until she's safe. And I'm not saying that's what's going on with him. I've met the guy twice. I just want you to be cautious. I'm also very, very biased in this one, since I have my feelings of my own for you.
It's just something feels off. The connection feels less.
It's always a troubling sign when you tell someone you love them and then they say that the connection feels less immediately after.
Not necessarily the connection with Saito, but the thing that connected us in another way.
Oh, right, your, sandwich... You're Bolivian.
Yeah.
Right. Would you also mind moving the microphone a little bit away from your face? You're, sort of...
Peeking.
Well, more like, popping. Yeah.
Oh, popping. Okay.
I guess that makes sense why you wanted to try and contact him again. You want to check if it worked. But if you are wrong, and the same thing does happen again, you're half dead. Well, half deader. I don't want to see you die.
I think I'm gonna wait for now, but I can't say that I'm not gonna try again. When
That's
I
your
feel a
decision.
bit stronger.
And if that is the case, it would be good to know. I'll be there
I would
for
like.
you.
I was just gonna ask.
You don't have
If you
to.
could be there.
No, I'll be there for you. I mean, I'd be there for the rest of them as well. So,
I know Dakota might not agree. I don't know if she should be there also. Maybe just you.
that's up to you. Next time, might bring some stronger lights. I don't know if it'll do anything, but our power's less useful in strong light.
Right, I remember you mentioning that a few times.
Yeah. Don't know if it'll work because it's kind of inside you or something.
Yeah. There's a lot to think about. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this vision out of my head for a while.
What was it like?
I keep seeing this rose
Okay, that
in every,
sounds like a Toreador thing, right?
of course, but usually when I see it, it's black.
Didn't someone call you a Black Rose?
Potentially. I might have been in my own visions.
I'm pretty sure someone called you a Black Rose.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I know I've always been a rose, but
Nah. Roses are overused. Cliched. You know.
I see the rose and there's always a river, a long river. And when I would reach out, I reached my hand out and that's where the pain started coming in. I felt the pain.
You reached out to Saito.
I reached out to the rose.
You tried to connect to something and it hurt you.
And yeah, I couldn't grasp it this time. It hurt.
Mathis, is there any role that I can do to get a hint? Or the case? Sure. I'll be honest. Same reason I don't think you're actually a rose. They're overdone. And I don't even know what the fuck this could be. You're unique. Unfortunate case does make it harder to pinpoint what the hell that could be, but...
Yeah, I don't know either what it all means. In some ways, I feel lost again.
The Black
Every time
River. Yeah.
I don't know. Every time I feel lost, I always try to push for answers, and I push too far.
I don't like trying to analyze people. I think people should come at things as they do. But in this case, I think you're getting lost because you're trying to tie yourself and trying to define yourself by other people. And when then those people change or disappear or let you down, you don't know who you are anymore. You tied yourself to Bella. Bella then rejected you. You felt lost. You tie yourself to Saito. Something goes wrong with your bond with Saito, you feel lost. You tie yourself to your brother. Your brother, you're lost. Rose might be an annoying piece of shit sometimes. The whole build yourself up girl, that ain't for nothing. At the end of the day, you can't build yourself up to someone else's standard. The only person you can be is you. That's the only way you can actually maintain any sort of sense of sanity in a world where everyone else seems to fuck you over. Or you can maybe just choose the people to build yourself up to a little better. We've all made that mistake.
I think I've made that mistake one too many times now. But I at least have you guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get my mind off of this whole thing and focus on our immediate coterie problems. But just know I may want to revisit this again.
Just tell me when.
Would Ollie make his way back to the bar after feeding or allowing the feed to happen?
Yeah, he probably would show back up and start.
Dakota probably take some time to herself on the roof
Yeah.
for a little bit. As the conversation between Ava and Crowley seems to be winding towards the close, the door opens and Ollie walks in.
I explained to them the room that I've been working on for, I guess what you might call a familiar of sorts, because Ollie's really bad at vampiring.
Mm-hmm.
Something you're familiar with.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
Working on a room. It's a light safe room, and it's gonna be real confusing. But I need to go get
Dakota.
So,
You need to go to get Dakota.
no, her name is Kianta.
Is this another goal of yours?
She's sort of like Princess Bella. You know, the cat? Sort of.
Okay. She's sort of like a cat. Dog.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Are you gonna bring her with us?
I'm finding her a new home, and I wanted something that was about twice the size of what she had.
I mean, adopting's good. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I just got to make some deals with the butcher and find a way to get enough food for her.
Sorry,
She
threw
doesn't
me for a
exactly
loop
like
there.
kibble.
Your nickname was the butcher.
No, I mean like one who specializes in meat cutlets.
When you say that, you hear Crowley's stomach just rumble loudly. Right, yeah. Food, yes, good. That would be nice. I need to
Why
go.
don't you go get your tools? Go get them, and
Yeah.
I'll see if I can put in line and wrangle you up a body.
You just have bodies on tap.
No, but I got a guy who I can go to. What do you need the whole body, or just you need like are you a foot guy? You need feet?
I mean, feet are hard. Most of the feet is just bones and tendons. There's actually no real meat in them. I mean, unless you're counting them fatty organs, big chunks of like raw muscle meat.
Oh, easy. I can get that.
People meat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask too many questions at this stage. It's just the concept of food right now is really hard not to just go outside and... Yep. I actually will probably go and look around it. Can you do me a favor?
Just come over here. Don't worry about it. I'll bring it back. Don't ask questions. If you really want to know later, I can tell you more. It's a lot easier than you think.
I need to ask a small favor.
Okay.
I need to go to my van, and then I need to take the van to my place to get my stuff.
All right. Can you let the
I'm
tour guide
pretty
back?
good at keeping it all in check. Would you mind walking me to the van just in case, since we're being very cautious about feeding these days?
Yeah. Yeah, easy enough.
Thank you.
Ava, you good?
Yes.
You want to come with?
Sure, I'll go with you guys.
All right.
Matt,
Well, then I can... Go ahead.
I'm not sure exactly how it works because I don't care about normal blood. So I assume that when I see people or smell people, because it's the meat.
I want to read the wording of it because blood still might affect you. It just is not something you can keep down.
It just says
might just
you
be
can
the
only
sight.
sate hunger with human
With
meat,
human,
I
right?
believe.
So,
Yeah.
but the application of frenzy is the beast is it still might send you into a frenzy if you see blood.
Yeah, but like if I see blood and there's no one around, then in the theory you're meant to just go for the blood.
Well,
But
in
like
the theory,
I would...
in theory, if you see blood, you would try and rip open the nearest mortal and just get at their meat, their organs. It would just be a messy murder on the side of the street.
Okay. I mean, that's
how-
less harsh than I was expecting. So whatever you feel like, I would be down for it to be people. I'd be down for it to be open wounds that show meat. Whatever you want to go
wounds. No, that would have definitely help as well. But for the walk to your car, though, you're safe. There's nothing happening on the outside. You're gonna be not triggered. You should be fine.
for. Right. Okay. Thank you. That was a lovely walk. I've only got a little bit of meat left at home.
How much do you have left at home? How many dots worth?
Ignoring hearts, I have 6 total.
Okay.
While you guys take care of your things, I think the next few nights I will be out and about doing my normal social thing. I think I need a few nights out at the
Are
club.
you sure? Because I'm pretty sure that tomorrow we might want to go find the Baron.
Tomorrow? I mean, I can try, but I'm not exactly in the best of shape.
one of you head
dear.
tonight then, right? You can.
We're gonna lay low for at least a few days. Wasn't that the agreement?
Yeah, I think
That's the idea.
Okay. I'll be honest. Good old-fashioned vengeance is a very good way to distract myself from my family issues.
Well, we're losing night hours, so let's get you fed.
Yeah.
Come back. I'll show you the room. I'll introduce you to Kianta. I've got to go get it first, and I've got to make a stop by a butcher.
Do you want me to drop you to pick her up?
Nah, I got it.
You sure? I was looking forward to chat.
Sure.
Drop Ava off.
Then,
Then
since it's relatively quiet drive, the
Yep.
streets are filled with people, but dropping Ava off is a simple task. And she elegantly walks away from the van that she clearly does not belong in.
right, where are we going to?
I just give him the streets. I give him the street names.
Sure.
And I have no
Or
idea
if
what's
he
on the
doesn't
street.
know the street, then
Nope,
I just
yeah,
kind of tell him, like, make a right up here.
Right,
Yeah.
Hi. How's Dakota?
Shitty. You know,
Okay.
as she always is. With reason.
Yeah, well, she's told me some of everything that's happened to her. Can't say I wouldn't be shitty in the same circumstances.
Yeah.
How are you
Yeah.
and Dakota?
Man, that feels like a difficult question to ask. And to be honest, I never know. I'm constantly playing it by ear. It's like, well, I mean, like, women are hard, right? They're hard to understand already. And Dakota feels both more simple and infinitely more complicated. So it feels like I'm doing basic math, but if that math was Chinese. I don't get it. But I'm just winging it.
It might be partly my fault. When you said you didn't want to see her, I relayed that. Man, I kind of said why. But I think she took that as a rejection. And you being the one person she's actually properly opened up to.
Can't say I didn't deserve it. I'm
You
not
did.
picking one on the chin.
You didn't. And neither did she.
Crowley, I know that you new here, but you've been here long enough to see that we don't really operate like other kindred.
Well, considering that I joined some sort of warrior cult obsessed with revenge, I don't know what normal kindred are meant to act like, to be honest. But it is very different from what we used to. Sure.
Well, I care a lot about them, and I will constantly put myself in harm's way, and I'm always at fault. Self-imposed, you should know.
Right.
And I always want to do better, but I'm extending that to you. Because I trust you. You, even if you did your fucking tricky thing back in the bar when we were sparring and you put a pillow in front of your face, you still took it. And that was cute. I wasn't too mad about it, but you still took it. And, well, you're standing up for them, and I don't know if it's like some really a cult. Like what the hell did they even do to you? Like that? I'm sorry, I can't get that out of my mind. Like this revenge cult.
So the Giovanni were like an offshoot of the original Clan Cappadocian. And then they killed and murdered the entire clan who weren't them, took over, became the clan. The Camarilla fucked up and turned a blind eye because they were busy for some reason, something politics. And then a few years ago, well, a couple of decades ago,
Make a left.
was it a stoplight? Shit. Oh,
It doesn't matter. It's too late. Nobody gives a shit.
there's no one around anyway. And then,
Police sirens behind you. Whoop, whoop.
well,
Just kidding. I'm just.
fuck the police. And then, well, the old clan who weren't fully wiped out start coming back out of the woodwork. Quietly. Small numbers, here and there. Recruiting. I accidentally get involved. Bit of training, bit of being on the down low.
All downhill from there, huh?
Well, yeah, and then there was a moment I got stuck in a steel casket for a decade. Woke up in New York. It's like a bad sitcom, really.
No wonder your fashion sense is terrible.
I mean, I was technically born like 60-something years ago now, so yeah.
Holy fuck.
Well, the only reason I watched the latest Star Wars films was because I watched the old ones, like
You
when
were
they were
there.
actually relevant.
That's kind of godly. That's impressive.
You're honest, a bit disappointed by the latest ones. Really realistic, but a bit weird.
Oh, you're like a grandpa. You're old enough to be a grandpa.
Oh,
Like Grandpa Crowley.
that's. Please don't call him Grandpa for Crowley if Ava's voice appears.
Well, my daughters are 30 and 31.
Oh God.
Hey man, you might have you might have grandkids. You might actually be a grandfather.
Not yet. As far as I know, the elder, the two, is trying.
You know, a long time ago, Kendra told me that in order to keep it safe, you got to keep it a secret. But he didn't tell me the other half, which was anything that's a secret is never safe.
Yeah.
You may not play a part visibly in your kids' lives, but you still have influence. You can still make a difference.
I don't really have any influence over there. Not anymore.
You'd be surprised what wiring a little bit of money can do to a family,
I considered that.
even if it's anonymous.
But what if someone sees me, follows me, interrogates me, sending money on the regular?
I can help with that, or at least I think I can find you a guy to help with that. It doesn't have to be anything substantial. It can literally just be a windfall of, hey, Uncle Ike got hit by a truck, left you like $6,000 in his will.
You know, it's a really shitty game, but they did used to like playing Monopoly. So, that does very much sound like a Monopoly card. You know, my initial thought is to say no, because it's what I've always done. I've always kept them safe and at arm's length because they'll just get. But I've never had anyone who could offer that.
I don't know a lot, but I know a little about everything. And I spent the last 10 years getting dirt on enough people and greasing enough palms that I can find just about anything. So I can get you your organs, and I can get you the guy to get money to your kids or your grandkids whenever they come around. But you're gonna have to do the legwork on your own from there. Everybody wants something. And we're here.
This is not a pet shop.
Kinda. It kinda is.
think we radically misunderstand, or at least have different understandings of what zoo means.
Yeah, well, it's a lovely place. You should go sometime.
I mean, most of the animals get really angry when I go anywhere near them, so...
Ah, it's all right. You'll be fine. You just don't go near them. Stand in the middle. Keep your distance. Besides, I thought that only affected people. You seem to weird a lot of people out.
Oh, yeah, people. But just being dead has an effect. I guess you're good with animals then. Huh.
Yeah, kinda.
Okay.
But just so you're fully aware, and you probably grasped this already, everything that we touch turns to suck. Pretty much everything. Welcome to the kindred life, if you didn't grasp that.
Yeah, that's why I try not to touch too many things.
Right. So, I'll be back. Get what you gotta get. Bring it out to the bar. Or walk around the room. You'll end up hearing me. I gotta move some things around to make sure that it's livable. But we're gonna have a new occupant. And I'll find my way to the butcher just fine. Don't worry about it. Just do what you gotta do and come back.
Sure.
Are you good? You need anything? Because I can run in there and squelch a guy real quick.
No,
wait. You need. Or never mind. I can't. You just be careful.
I'll be Crowley.
All right, Grandpa. I'll see you later.
And off
Fair
he
enough.
goes as you split up. For the sake of time, because there's some things I'd like to get to, I would like to push forward a couple nights. You will successfully, of course, get Kiata from the zoo and all that. But I would like, the reason I need to push forward at least a couple nights is Ava needs to go through a couple points of healing still, but it'll be a couple nights before the next important plot event happens. So everybody who needs to rouse check, give me 2 rouse checks. Ava, I want 1 rouse check and then 3 rouse checks.
May I do a hunt roll to do my finding?
Yes, you would do the same thing we did last time. I believe it was like a stealth
dex.
roll.
And I will eat 3 points, rouse the blood, turn
Basically,
on
I think the
celerity.
way I'm going to do it is like depending on how many successes you get, basically weighing it like you would normally hunt will determine how many points of organs you walk away with, I guess. Or just on a normal success, you get a normal feeding's worth of organs rather. So like 2 points or 3 points worth.
Yeah.
So everybody adjust your hunger as needed, and then Ava, give me a 3d10. And with a successful feed roll with that, you're gonna grab your typical 4 points of hunger.
Cool. Assuming that we'll be able
organs
to feed in that 2 days time.
Yep, you will, as long as you tell me where you're hunting and then make the roll.
Just in my domain.
Okay. Ava, you gain 2 hunger on the first heal, but you heal 1 point of aggravated damage on that first night.
And
What's that put you at a hunger before we go into the next night, Ava?
Hunger 4.
So you're gonna want to feed before you go to sleep that night.
Yes.
So, where would you like to feed? You may make me your hunting roll, Ollie.
I would.
Okay,
rouses.
sorry.
Sorry. So the hunting thing.
Yes, you want to hunt. You're just gonna knock somebody out in the just rough them up. Okay. How many would you like to take? What are you at?
If I succeed on both, then it'll put me down to 1.
Okay, you succeeded on both, obviously, so you'll be good.
Okay.
I'll feed on Eric or at his.
Oh yeah,
club.
you could easily use Eric. It's been a while since you fed on Eric, so giving him a call,
Yeah.
he comes right over. He hasn't seen you in forever, and getting him to leave the bar requires you to actually use a discipline. He refuses to leave your side. Absolutely refuses. You can use awe, but that requires, that'll pull other people's attention that are in the vicinity, or you can use entrancement. How many points? You're at 4. You're gonna feed 3 off of him. He's gonna be fucking out of it. You're gonna put him in a cabin, send him home. You're fine.
Okay.
I forgot.
Okay.
He's gonna be so out of it from you feeding him. He's not gonna be around. So you feed 3 points of hunger, send him on his way. You need to make me another rouse check for the second night. I think everybody else already made me 2.
Did my 4 points of meat have a heart in it or not?
No heart.
Okay.
Ava, so you're gonna start with 2 hunger for this night. Now roll me 3 rouse checks.
Just do it this way.
Okay. You gain 1 extra hunger and you heal an aggravated damage.
All right.
You
So
got 3
I
hunger
am.
on this night.
So I am healed now.
Correct.
And I'm at the hunger 3.
Okay. So I'd like the camera to pick up somewhere within this night, a few hours in, where all of you are together. Perhaps just, it's the night Ava's fully healed again, in the back of the bar. You may be discussing light plans or light politicking, maybe even, or what the next steps are going to be before there's a gentle rapping at your back door.
I will answer.
As you walk over and crack the door, a face you haven't seen in a while, Ollie, stands there. A young woman in her 20s, well dressed but not overly done so, stands and gives you a very plain smile. It's Rhonda,
Oh,
the harpy.
Ah, lovely.
Wasn't exactly.
She
great.
gives you a
Thank
gentle
you.
smile and warm. Mr.
Thank you,
Hopkins,
Rhonda.
pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Rhonda.
May I? And she,
Please come inside.
as you slide the door open, she steps in, and as she sees each one of you, smiles and a little wider every time as she sees that all of you are here. A pleasure, Miss Heloise. Miss Rain,
Rhonda.
Mr. Crowley.
Yo.
Lovely to see you.
Well,
Everyone
it's been some time, and I see this place is still as clean as ever. And she gives you, again, just kind of a pleasant smile as Ollie shuts the door and makes his way back into the main kitchen area. She spins to look at all of you. Well, I'm not here for long. I've got things to attend to. However, the 4 of you have been summoned by Prince Bella. She'd like to speak with you. Ideally tonight, if you have the time.
oh, we've got
not,
his time, Rhonda.
She smiles. If not, she would understand.
Is this immediate?
She requested your presence tonight, but it was not of, she didn't put any urgency on it. Only that her schedule is open this evening and she was looking to speak with you.
Is that one of those suggestions that's actually a suggestion, or one of the suggestions that...
Crowley means we'll talk it over.
As,
I'm kind of like not the person to be honest with. Like the
Rhonda simply flashes a toothy grin.
We appreciate your presence as always, Rhonda.
Thank
I
you
would
so
need
much.
an answer, of course, before I leave. So, if you need to speak among yourselves, please make it quick.
Do you mind if we go into a different room to speak behind your back?
I just turn around and look at the group. Are we particularly busy this evening?
I don't think we are, unless we're going to get attacked again.
What's another night risking an attack from...
Again,
Yes, I
we
know.
would love to take the presence of our prince. Thank you, Rhonda.
Excellent. Well, I'll let her know that your arrival is impending within the next hour or 2. You know where to find her, the Ivory Tower. I will not be escorting you as I have other things to attend to. I'll send a message that you will be arriving tonight.
Wonderful.
Don't let her, or don't keep the prince waiting. And she just at that gives you a gentle nod and turns, spins on the ball of her foot, and with a small skip, makes her way out the back door.
Well, I guess we have plans tonight then.
The only things that have happened that we know of in the last week are we were attacked again by the Baron again. We met Saito. And we met Cammy. Is there something else we don't know about?
Well,
Or did they get wind of your, what happened a week ago?
No.
only one way to find out.
Was 10 days ago. Would have expected them to... You heard anything from the Sheriff, Dakota?
I haven't heard anything from the sheriff in months.
Yay, he's an asshole.
This is true. Well, best not keep the prince waiting. Plus, trust me, she'll make short of our time together and we can come back here and do...
Oh shit! What if it has something to do with Snitch? I haven't heard from Snitch. No, Snitch was gonna head back down and deal with...
That is
You know.
Snitch's job.
and his problem.
Is it normal for you to hear regularly from Snitch? Because he seems like the kind of guy who you hear from when he wants you to hear from him.
Yeah, but time passes weirdly in the labyrinth. You understand how that works? I mean, we were down there for what seemed like no time. Turns out we were down there 2 to 3 weeks.
So if he goes back down, we're expecting him to be out in a week at best.
Just keep your eyes out for Snitch at this meeting if he's gonna be there or not.
Right.
If he's there, then... well, there might be the chances of him being a little upset based off of some things that I've been told. But if he's not, then let's count those blessings.
I mean, she could be mad about if she found out about the whole talking to Kenneth.
She could not be mad at all.
It's true.
We should go in there with an innocent conscience.
I'm tired of speculating. Let's go.
I gotta go tell Key.
She can stay here, right?
Yeah, she'll stay at the factory. What about the boys? Talking about the dogs.
Well, they're already here. They've been watching the bar. We can continue to make that a reality.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a shame that I didn't have my suit ready, but that shit takes time. So, let's go see Mom.
Thank you for the recommendation on the suit place, by the way.
I'll take care of you. It's a little expensive, but they'll take care of you. And I mean, it's
Well,
not gonna
considering
do a
people
lot.
keep making jokes about my fashion sense, I thought I'd actually...
Are we talking about fashion right now? And Dakota like kicks the door open. She cannot believe that we're talking about fashion on a night to meet the prince. She's out. She's gonna go wait by the van.
Yeah.
Sounds a little testy shit. I mean, I guess I'd be mad too if I never saw the fucking
Oh,
Star
yeah, we
Wars
could just be
movies.
going there to get executed, but both of
Yeah.
those are important, sure.
I don't think either of you have anything to worry about. We'll be fine.
Wait a minute, serious question. Have you seen Star Wars?
Actually, that's a good question.
Of course I have. And the new ones, yes.
Okay, all right.
Into the fan you all pile, and off to the ivory tower you go. We watch as the little van drives its way towards the center of town, slowly being swallowed up by the Chicago skyline. At this point in time, the ivory tower's construction is almost complete. It stands well above the tallest buildings in the city, and it is gorgeous as its multicolored lights run up and down its side, changing over the course of time smoothly. And as you arrive in park and make your way in, the woman at the front desk merely smiles and gestures to the elevators behind her.
I would like to
pile
be pushing my sight to look for any invisible people. It's probably
Sure.
not important, so don't make me
You do
roll
not
if it
see
isn't
any
important.
immediately.
But Ollie said to keep a lookout for Snitch and that he could just be hanging around, so just in case.
In the rise, well past the 35th floor as new floors have been put in, and you stop at the 50th. It opens rolling elevator doors, and the 2 double doors that are there, guarded by personal security, are already wide open. It's a similar layout to the one that you were familiar with down on the 35th, but twice the size. No bedroom that you can see where one once was, and instead, the grand living room sprawls out in that direction. Windows line the entire side, much like before. And alone, standing in this room, in a gorgeous, long black dress, with long, thin red lines running across down the sides that lead into splits at her hip and show a large chunk of thigh leading down to her high heels. She merely gestures to the doors and the personal security on the outside, close them behind you, leaving the 4 of you and Bella alone. She strides out from behind her large oak desk with a glass of wine or blood in hand, keeping a good distance between all of you before she leans up against the front of the desk, propping herself up and crossing her legs and taking a sip, smiling.
I'll lean in with the etiquette, and I will start with the bowing.
Absolutely.
always.
Ollie takes
Oh, right,
initiative,
yeah.
followed by immediately Dakota and
Yep.
Ava, and then Crowley finally. before she
Crowley
smi-
will specifically, like, he'll be respectful, but he might not bow as low because he's technically not Camarilla as much, but
Sure.
he'll still be respectful in as much as he can.
She uncrosses her legs and swings the left leg over and crosses them in reverse before she places the glass down, her smile continuing to be plastered across her face. And she giggles ever so slightly. Please, just stand. It has been a while since the four of you have been graced with your presence. It is good to see you all.
Good to see you as well.
Likewise.
Please. And she noting tension. She slips off the front of the desk and takes a few steps forward. Relax. I merely have a few questions. You're not in trouble.
We normally don't get called in as a group, so
Well.
it feels a little off.
It's been a while.
Whispers, words, reports of a potential masquerade breach have made their way to my desk. And I am merely going to the source to confirm such reports. It is also to my understanding, before you get worried, that the potential masquerade breach has been entirely cleaned up. But I would like confirmation that my information is reliable.
Then ask your questions, dear prince.
Was there or wasn't there a masquerade breach over by Ollie's bar?
Yes.
She just simply nods. And it was cleaned up effectively then.
Yes.
I'm proud of you. It's also my understanding that the bar was attacked
Yes.
a few nights
multiple
afterwards.
times.
I see. Unfortunate. How strange. Camille makes a visit down to your bar on my behalf, on my request, to ensure the masquerade breach was taken care of. And within a day of her reporting back, and she never told me the entire truth, they're attacked. My fear is that Camille is still working with that anarch boy. I gave her everything. It is a shame if it is true. She told me that the masquerade breach had happened and that there were bodies strewn across the streets. That Mr. Oliver Hopkins had retaken his title as the butcher and deserved final death.
Everybody in that situation got
I
what was
would like
coming
to-
them.
I would like to
You're all
insight.
welcome to Wits Insight. You're all
Yeah.
very welcome.
I have zero interest in Wits inciting her. I know she's lying to us and putting her. I don't need to. I know she's being Bella.
It just seems very out of character for Camille. So
Yeah.
Certainly.
Ollie is just
But
trying
she
to
has
snuff
backstabbed
it out.
to gain the Primogen Steep before.
Of course.
Ah,
None of you can. She seems to be completely on the straight. Would this seem out of character for Camille? You had close dealings with her.
I suppose we never really knew Camille that well. Though we had dealings, none of us were ever really that close.
She simply gives a disappointed sigh. The Ventru can't seem to escape their own instincts. So pleasant on the front, but so selfish behind our backs. The blue blood will continue to be that, I guess. No matter the gifts.
let us hope that not all of them are, my prince.
It's a shame. You see, Camille's been missing for a few days. I think she left town. I will be sending my best after her. And then, once captured, perhaps we can punish her for such transgressions. It did seem strange that she'd tell me about bodies lying in the street, and yet no one else came to me with such information. She kind of looks to each of you in the eye. It did seem suspect.
Understandable. But things take time. And one masquerade breach often leads to another.
She nods at that. It does. You've learned well.
So it is easier to take our time and to clean it up right the first time. And in full honesty, Ollie and I needed time to heal. Physically, I mean.
She again gives you a solemn nod.
I apologize if you felt this went under your radar. Or that we were attempting to hide it in some way.
No, she shakes her head. No, not whatsoever. If what I had been told was the truth, I wouldn't have needed to speak with you in the first place. With Camille missing, I find it only suitable that I make assumptions, strong ones, that she was behind this assault. Perhaps her loyalties to the Anarchs and the one that she worked with in the past are not as left in the past as I'd hoped. So from this moment forward, Camille Delanoir will be exiled from Chicago. Should she ever find her way back, a blood hunt will be allowed, and she may be killed. But for her own safety, let us hope that she never returns. Thank you. The four of you.
Prince Bella, if I may.
Please.
How did you discover the information of the Anarch? You said the boy.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I had a game that threw me off. The boy. Continue. I would be a poor prince if I didn't have information making its way from Anarch territory to my desk. Every kindred has a price, and your clan is incredibly useful in that regard.
Since it has become public knowledge, at least unto yourself, the Lights Out pub has been under 3 initial attacks that have led to Masquerade breaches each time by the Anarch boy, as you have said. And each time, it has cost resources and time to cover up the mess. I understand that there are Camarilla laws in place, but it is no longer just a harm or a matter of duress to myself, but it is harm and duress to my employees and the rest of my coterie. What am I to do when facing these transgressions?
Perhaps having an open business on the corner of a street is an invite for such things. There is a danger to the way you run your business, Mr. Hopkins.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
It is your land to do with it as you see fit. I cannot tell you what to do.
I understand, and I respect your opinion. It's only why I asked.
Is there anything else?
No.
A few months ago, you offered us land if we could take it.
The offer still stands.
Would that be politically awkward at the moment, or would it be politically expedient for you?
The Anarchs themselves are a thorn into the Camarilla side. I wouldn't dare suggest something that would put you into peril. Your time. When you're ready. It wouldn't be politically awkward if that's your concern.
Good to know.
And Miss Rain, anything I can do for you while I have you here?
I haven't fulfilled the last thing that I promised, my prince. When I do, I will come back.
Once again, I appreciate your honesty. We've had pleasant dealings over these years, and I wish to continue that.
The thorn in our side, my prince, is a rash kindred. He sends his goons with guns. They shoot openly on the street. Now, we could go rip him from it. Or we could simply wait for what to do with him when we have our hands on him.
He has openly attacked you in your domain, territory that belongs to Hopkins. He has
Correct.
broken Camarilla law. Bring him for
Yes.
trial.
With pleasure.
If that is all, then, you are dismissed.
Before we go, this Baron, you know of him?
I've heard he's causing a problem, but nothing more.
Okay. And about the boy you mentioned, that Camille.
Yes, Mr. Saito.
What should we do if we see him again?
Can you say that again, E?
What should we do if we see him again? If you're worried
Bring him in
about
for
her.
questioning. I'm very curious if he has been working closely with Miss Delanoir.
Gladly.
She brings a hand up and kind of gives you a gentle wave.
I nod and bow in appropriateness, and I simply say,
A moment of your time alone.
Certainly. Ava, stay outside. I'm not done speaking to you yet.
Ava just stares at her. This whole time, actually, Ava hasn't said a word,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just been. She's had this anger in her eyes, but she doesn't say anything to the prince, and she waits outside for Dakota to finish.
So you walk out with Ollie and Crowley. Ollie
Yeah.
and Crowley are not asked to stick around. And Dakota stays inside as the door's shut. And she visibly loosens up once the two of you are alone. And as you go to speak, she stops you and gestures for you to walk over to the new area, the fireplace that's not roaring, and a much larger library, comfier chairs and a bigger table between, and she gestures for you to take a seat.
Thank you.
She sits down into the chair across from you as she always does and smiles.
You've
Dakota,
expanded.
it has been too long since we have had words. What can I do for you tonight?
The Baron's territory. When we take it.
Yes.
I would like to ask permission for something.
You may ask.
I don't ask for much. And I always come through.
She smiles.
It is not news to us that the Giovanni on the Anarch Council is gone.
Yes, and they blame us for it.
Maybe. But the fact of the matter is, the Baron was being funded by him. The rash outbreak a few nights ago, opening fire at the door of Ollie's bar, was a sheer sign that they are losing both control of him and potentially themselves.
She smiles as you say this, and she leans back, crossing her legs again, placing an arm up on the armrest and leaning in a bit. Look at you. Magnus Canis. Earned at the time. Now she wags her finger at you. Proven now. I was thinking the same thing. They seem to be acting in desperation. To
They
strike
are
so...
weak.
Ah, they have been for some time, thanks to you.
Yes, but now
Maybe.
take it from somebody with a rebellious soul, my prince.
Maybe.
Anything built on a rebellion will continue to rebel from inside when the foundation gets shaky.
Are you suggesting the death of the Giovanni was enough to shake their foundation?
I am suggesting that they have pushed a snowball down a hill, and it is only a matter of time. When we get the territory, and as your Magnus Canis, not your hound, I would like to ask permission for the gangrel to come and go from the city, to use that territory. It is a front line between us and the Anarchs, and as they weaken, I will be there with my clan for the Camarilla to push back and take from the Anarchs what they cannot hold.
My Dakota Rain, your ambition is impressive. And to see you speaking such highly of the Camarilla and in favor of it.
I've never spoken ill of it.
Of course not, but your clan in general has a rebellious nature to them.
My clan is lost. They need a pack leader. Not more territory. Not more rules.
While I appreciate you approaching me for permission for such things, the Gangrel are not outlawed from Chicago. And once you have your own territory, you may set the laws as you see fit for your land so long as they follow and abide by the 6 traditions.
Yes, but they have left the city.
They have.
And as the blockade currently stands, they cannot come back. I want permission for them to come back to this city. To be welcome, my prince. You taught me that. You need an army on the streets. Not Vidru. Not an ivory tower. But a front line.
You make a compelling argument, Miss Rain. I will say this. I am not adverse to the idea. Let us work towards this territory for the Camarilla first. Once it is attained, let us speak again and see where the cards fall then. I apologize for not being able to give you a solid answer now. I know if I were you, I would want the same if my clan were missing from the city.
I promise that territory regardless of my clan.
I understand that.
Maybe it is a selfish want.
Is it selfish to wish to not be lonely?
Yes. But it is not selfish to wish something better for kindred of this city. The Gangrel have all but left. And I apologize if I overstep. But those that currently represent us don't care about our clan.
She stands from her chair and takes a few long strides over to you. And she cups your cheek in her hand, running her thumb just behind your ear. And she just grazes it. You could feel the warmth, clearly having roused the blood prior. And she runs her finger across your cheek very gently before bringing her hand under your cheek and slowly dragging her fingertips off. You have surprised me, Miss Rain. In the most fantastic of ways. Remember where your loyalties lie. Miss Delanoir seems to have forgotten. And when she says that, she looks to you in the eyes. And you watch all pretense of any lie fade. The smirks, the lines around her cheeks, and she just gives you a deadly, serious look. This is not Bella. At least for this brief moment, it is not Bella. As a smile returns and she blinks.
I have always fulfilled my prince. And I've always chosen to serve and be honest with you.
I put a little extra in the you.
Of course. She takes a couple steps back, picks the wine glass up from the table. Everything I've said, everything I have spoken to you, I mean, Miss Rain. You have impressed me. I had my suspicions and my concerns, but here you are, standing in a room that could be the last thing you see. You say the wrong thing or make the wrong action.
I
But I
stopped
sense-
coming.
No, please.
I stopped coming to this place with fear, my prince. If you wanted to kill me, you would have the night you took the Heloise woman's head.
A lesson that needed to be learned.
So I fear we have all learned.
Slow learners, some of you. But yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
I'm sorry for the Masquerade breach.
The beast can get the better of us.
Yes, it can.
Mr. Hopkins in particular, however, is a danger if he does.
So I've learned, my prince.
Perhaps the danger of the hunger will settle in a little deeper into your veins now.
It's never been something I took lightly. And I've learned it by the hand of many, both at your side and under you.
You have done me proud, Miss Rain. And she raises the glass to give you a toast. Can I get a wits awareness from you?
Oh, fudge monkeys.
I'm not looking for much. The simple difficulty.
I mean, I haven't made that roll today yet.
You never know.
Oh, a 4.
With a messy critical. There's no really messy critical way to notice this. It's simply as the camera kind of pulls back and sits behind the chair where you sit, and we can see Bella. As she raises the glass of toast, we actually watch the shadow raise the glass first, before the body follows suit. And as she does, we watch the shadow drink, and then the body follows suit. And Dakota was escorted out. Leaves and is returned. The doors are open. The doors are, you are left alone with Ava for a brief few moments. If there's any quick words you wanted to give to Ava as you walk by her, Dakota.
I do. I stop Ava, and I put a hand on her shoulder. I'm sorry for my anger. A few days pass. But do not let your love for Saito or Kami stop you.
And I kind of slide my hand into hers and lock my pinky.
We have to be bigger than this. And you look great, or whatever you need to hear.
You spank her on the ass, and in she
Yeah.
goes. The door's
Yeah.
shut behind her. You don't have much time to say anything else. We gotta. And as you walk in, there she stands, placing the empty wine glass on the table and refilling it out of a cask, or not a cask, one of those glass things, pitcher, like a pitcher of the sort, a thick red viscous fluid. And she pulls out a clean glass as well, and pours another one before she walks it over to you. She smiles in that thin, sleek black dress. Miss Heloise. Ava, if I may. And she smiles.
My prince. She'll take the glass.
Do you rouse the blood so you can drink? Oh, no, it's blood. Never mind. You can smell it. It's just blood.
Then I'll maybe I'll take a drink.
Yeah, take a sip.
Okay, yeah.
And how are you this evening, my dear girl?
I've been better.
I am sorry to hear that. Please, I know I am the Prince of Chicago, but I am also your sister.
I
What
look at
bothers
her.
you? Yeah, what bothers you? My familial rose.
Well, you clearly called me here for something.
Well, yes, of course, I wish to speak with you. Toreador business and all.
Toreador business.
Of course. Ava, I've never seen you so... I've never seen you lack so much composure before. Something's eating you alive. Pray tell. What?
The things you said about Cammy.
Yes. A shame. An absolute shame and a disappointment. You were there when I handed her seat. When I gave her Norris.
It is quite a shame that that happened. Truly dreadful.
And with the history behind Toreador and Ventru, I thought perhaps this could be the olive branch to bridge that, at least that gap here in Chicago. A fool I was to have such lofty ambitions. A mistake I won't make again. Is that what worries you? The betrayal of a friend?
You and I both know what's really going on here.
Miss Heloise,
Don't play coy with me.
Miss Heloise. She takes one long sip and places the glass down on the table and turns to face you. Say what's on your mind, child.
What you said, it wasn't really what happened. Her working with her previous anarch, previous life.
Why could that not be the truth? They worked in tandem with each other for decades. One living
And
in
then-
undercover for so long, it's...
Is that the story you're going to tell everybody? That you're going to tell the rest of the Primogen?
Miss Heloise. I am trying to be polite. And what? What are you going to do? Tell everybody that I killed her? Is that your plan?
No. I'm not going to say anything.
Of course not. You have nothing to back you. While I have the entirety of Chicago.
Just don't think...
Don't think what, Miss Heloise?
You-
And she takes one large step forward. Don't
You and
be
I-
a bitch. Speak.
You and I never saw eye to eye on things. Don't think that you could just come to my coterie and say that what happened to Cammy is something that isn't a load of bullshit.
And what, Miss Heloise, as she takes another step forward, would you have me tell them? To disseminate information amongst the four of you and expect it to not leak? Do you know who the four of you are? Are you aware of the nickname you were given? You have made great strides over this decade, improved a great deal. But if my sources are correct, and I promise you that they are, Mr. Hopkins almost ran into the street and murdered a bunch of kine. So should I truly tell you all the nitty-gritty of my grandiose plans that you believed me to have? Camille dead? What are you going to do about it? Yes, Camille Delanoir is no more. Would you like a frenzy check, Ava?
Yes, Ava is like my hand is in a fist shaking. Ava's
Yeah.
would be too.
Go ahead and frenzy, fury frenzy check me. Difficulty, I believe it's 3. I'll double check.
Oh shit.
No, she's just poking and prodding. It's probably just 2.
Okay.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Double ones for everyone listening. 2
Oh
dice.
my
2
God.
ones.
Oh my god.
You really have 2 dice for that?
I apparently
What should you be rolling?
Frenzy.
well the difficulty is 2, right?
Difficulty 2. It doesn't mean you're rolling 2.
Yeah, so when you hit the
Composure resolve, apparently.
Wait, what's your
Composure
composure
resolve.
Isn't it composure
Which
resolve plus
would
like a
be
third of your humanity or something? It's something about humanity.
Yeah, that is weird.
Did you
That-
you hit the frenzy button at the bottom?
I hit the frenzy button at the bottom. Modifier 0, difficulty 2. That's what I put
Weird.
in.
And it only rolled 2 die for you?
That is kind of weird.
Let me just look it up real quick because you're probably
Yeah,
still going to
I'm-
fail it, but.
That definitely doesn't seem right.
It doesn't.
What is
No,
your
I think 2
composure?
dice
and-
is impossible.
2. Composure is 2. And
Okay,
resolve
so-
is 2.
and 2, so 4
Yeah,
there.
roll, it says the vampire rolls a willpower check.
Oh, if it's a willpower check, it's minus any willpower you spent, which might be why.
Oh, Jesus. I'm at 1 willpower.
Oh, because you're at 1 willpower.
'Cause
that
I
and then
makes
used
sense.
it all
vampires
from
add
the
1 dice equal
Oblivion.
to 1/3 of their humanity rounded down. As to
Yeah,
their,
so it's 2 dice because you've got 1 willpower plus
Yep.
your humanity
Holy
thirded rounded
Yep.
down.
Yep. Okay, that's what it is.
I knew you were the
Wow,
worst at
Ava.
frenzies, but holy shit.
Oh my god. This is so bad.
Oh
This is
wow.
so bad. Rip Ava.
I mean,
I knew
it's
that-
better that you frenzy and it's your frenzy doing
Here
bad
we
stuff
are.
than it's you
Hang on a
choosing
second.
to.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Rip Ava.
I just need to check. I need to look at a power real quick.
Oh, Lord. Well, no.
You just frenzied at the prince. Oh man.
Oh, and Dakota is not. in
I'm
this
sorry,
room anymore.
Dakota.
It's so- hey,
I should
you don't have to apologize to me. All I
Like-
can do, like I told you, all Dakota can do is support you.
And
She
I
can
sat there for, I'm like, Dakota
support
just
you.
gave me that pep talk, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it cool. But she just, she does something to me, I swear.
Well,
It
you
just
did
does
call her
something to me.
directly out. You were just like, "You gonna keep lying to me, bitch?" She's-
Yeah. Oh, it's a Toreador thing, I think.
Oh, it's
Lord.
funny. Hang on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm gonna make a self-referential joke about the Heloise twins, but we're lemmings. It's a thing we do. There's a cliff and we need to jump off it.
Can you make me a composure resolve check? I gotta make 2 rouse checks. I'm gonna roll 2d20 first. 2d10 rather.
All right. Well, that's at least 4 successes.
She gains a point. Oh man.
Does she get to re-roll her rouse checks because she's so old?
I mean, yes, she can reroll
Yeah.
her rouse checks, but I mean,
I was just wondering if she actually breaks a sweat over this.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we all know Mathis does not hold back. As
Well,
we've
not
seen.
look who you're going against right now.
I know.
can't hold
That's
you
what
against
I'm-
the prince,
that's-
dude.
Well, look, you
11d10.
you do what you gotta do.
my
1,
God.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No crits.
Ava takes a single step forward. 1 step before you stop. To be in the presence of Bella now is to be in the presence of a divine creature beyond your understanding. When you look at her, you no longer see Bella in a black dress. You see something almost human. She stands in an aura of dark shadow, with wisps and tendrils whipping all around behind her. Her face is dull. You can only make out the barest of details, the tip of the nose, the curve of some of her lips, and the glint of her eye. And as you watch as her face actively changes before you, effortlessly morphing from another face to another to another. Wits awareness, please, Ava.
3 success.
For a moment, you catch a familiar face, a pained, screaming face of a goateed Saito, just for a moment, as it continues to shift and change and morph. She doesn't even seem to be standing on the ground, 20 feet tall, filling this room. She says no words. You are just afraid and locked into place. This lasts until the frenzy ends. And by the time you realize it's all over, she's no longer standing far away from you, but over you. A hand on the corner of your temple with your head pushed to the side. She's down on a knee, and you can feel the lick of her tongue across your neck, from the shoulder to your ear. You can hear her take a deep breath, wisps of your hair pulled forward. And she places her lips on your neck, dragging the tips of her fangs across before she stops. She stands and looks to you, your eyes, blood tears welling and pouring down them. Miss Ava Heloise, I gave you a history lesson not too long ago about those who are willing and those rewards that are reaped by those who willingly serve. We had something, you know, a connection. More than the connection you lost recently. You and I understood. And I thought, for just a moment, I thought I had finally been given my Otai. Now, you kneel before me, a whimpering pup, scared. And I debate. Are you another lost promise in need of being put down? How am I now to look at you and accept any loyalty you spill forth? How am I to trust you? And she lets the question linger.
What of this have I done to lose your trust?
Have we forgotten the past 5 minutes? To stand before me and question me. To demand truth that you and I already well know simply because your ego demands satisfaction.
I thought we were going somewhere and were getting somewhere.
And we were. And what? We can't go there now because Camille is no longer with us.
I just wanted honesty, that's all.
So did I.
We were still to work together.
You and Camille.
You and I. That hasn't changed.
Has
I
it
haven't
not?
forgotten what you told me.
What
The
did I tell you?
stories. The stories. They still linger with me.
And I'm supposed to what? Forget this little outburst and hope it never happens again? You still have too much of your brother in you. Perhaps Zach destroyed you further than I anticipated. To serve means losing those that you befriend, Ava Heloise. Not everybody that you work with is a true companion. Can you stand to lose?
I have lost a lot. have lost many close to me. I've lost everything, physically. You've always been the one to take it from me.
She shakes her head. I take nothing from you. I am only the repercussions of your own actions. The laws are the laws. They have been for millennia. Perhaps I'm a fool. And she kind of breaks tense and turns her back on you. Perhaps I was a fool to think you were worthy of serving me directly. Final death may suit you quite yet. So give me a reason, Miss Ava Heloise, and she spins. Give me a reason not to end you tonight and to free you. You've lost everything. You demand to know truth, and you stand on your own in the prince's room face to face with her. Any other prince would kill you. So tell me why I allow you to live.
Because I can still bring you information and answers that you seek. I can still help you. I can still help her. The real you.
Subtlety isn't your thing, is it?
Not when I'm about to face death.
A fair answer. I wish to give you another history lesson, Ava. Marcus Vitel. I informed you not too long ago that you would be meeting him. Unfortunately, abilities to communicate with you have been made difficult. And so, perhaps I will look at this as a gift, a sign. I cannot force you to serve, not that way. But I will give you your option. You pledge your loyalty to me. Understand where your feet walk next. Lockstep behind mine.
If you need to do what you must to secure that loyalty.
Do you know the story of Marcus Vitel, my young girl?
I know nothing, no.
Marcus Vitel is an example of a man in the right place at the wrong time, who served greatly without knowing. An orphan, left to find his own path. I believe you know the end of his story, to some degree. He became Prince of DC, where the Camarilla served them for decades. A prince that many looked up to. No one truly understood how he worked. But DC was safe because of him. And then one day, from DC he disappeared. Some say there was a coup, murdered, diablerized, or just buried and forgotten. Others think he escaped, and then there are the myriad of rumors in between, a mix of both stories. And for a long time, DC operated peacefully. Whatever Mr. Vitel did to DC, it seemed to serve the city long after his disappearance. But recently, DC has lost its power. It no longer is Camarilla bound, and whatever Marcus Vitel did to DC has slipped. Do you know where DC belonged to before the Camarilla took it?
I do not.
The Sabbat. Funny enough, I believe that's what the rumors say now. They've taken DC back. But that's not where our story focuses on. No, Marcus Vitel disappeared. He was an excellent man. A servant that, while he was not willing, so to speak, did everything he was intended for. But when one isn't given a choice, that loyalty tends to have its limits. And after the disappearance of Vitel, rumors swirled that he did still exist, or that he was around but he wasn't himself, or that he was around with some secondary motivation that wasn't camera love. It doesn't matter. The truth of the matter is Mr. Vitel is alive and well. And he is ready to serve again after decades being off of the scene. But Mr. Vitel still needs an accompaniment here in Chicago. To be taken around, seeing the city. Mr. Vitel is an example. An example as to what happens when you choose no longer to serve willingly, but thwart those that allows you to live this life in the first place. Do you understand? As Ava sits in silence, she stands. She walks over to one of the side rooms and she opens the door, and out walks a gentleman in a magnificent suit, an expensive suit from top to bottom, immaculately fit. His hair is a mess, but the intentional kind. Clearly some sort of substance run through it, and he sits somewhere in his late 30s to early 40s. As he walks into the room, immediately, Ava, you feel uncomfortable. In a way that prods at your beast. It prods at something deeper than just you as a person. And this gentleman walks side by side with Bella into the center of the room. His salt and pepper hair styled perfectly, a 5 o'clock shadow. And he looks to you. And he smiles. And when he smiles, the beast reacts horrendously. The cage that holds it feels to rattle. And it's almost as though you're staring into a devouring maw. There's a pull, a draw, a feeling of wanting to get closer. A familiar feeling. Similar to how you feel when you enter Chinatown. He smiles to you, and he takes a step forward, reaching out his hand to take yours, and he stands. Miss Ava Heloise, I have heard a lot about you. I am eager to see Chinatown first. From there, the rest of the city, if you do not mind.
But of course. Ava smiles. She puts her smile on.
He wears a brooch on his jacket. Elegantly designed. Looks like 2 eagles. But in the center, you see the Ventru 2-staff symbol on it. And as Miss Bella turns and takes a last swig of her wine, she wishes the two of you a nice night. And as you leave the main room, we'll fade to black. And we will return next week.
Whew. Sorry, guys. That was a bit of a heavy last scene there. You know, almost.
Look, it can't be any worse than last
Almost
week. So
You know,
pop the bubbly, y'all. We're all still alive.
I
You're walking out of it.
I could have just died.
Yep.
You're walking out of it into Chinatown. You're no longer immune to.
Yeah, I guess I'm no longer. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see. I thought Bella knew like something happened with Ava's connection. I don't know. I thought she would have known. Maybe she doesn't.
No, she referenced it's hard to get a hold of you now and stuff. Like, she knows.
That's true, actually. Yeah. I don't know, but you know, Ava walks on eggshells all the time. So
I'm surprised you went at her like that.
I was just so mad at her.
I
all the
know.
Yeah.
So you are immediately not in the kind of spot in her mind where I thought you were going to be. Which is fine. We'll see what happens next week. We got an after show we got to go to.
Yeah, after show.
We're gonna wrap this up. This is fine. So, there's stuff on the Patreon. Support today was me. Is it amazing? Thank you very much for supporting today's episode. Really pick one. There's Ascension, GM notes for Soulspire Floor 3, The Last Ditch, Episode 1 character sheets, and the first and second headquarters videos are now out. Monthly recap will be coming soon, and Last Ditch has started. You can still get involved in the Rear Garden on Discord. Right. Yeah. Tracy, since you've not been long for this world, who are you? What are you doing when we find you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Tracy, Miss Match Tech. You can find me at all the places at Miss Match Tech. Yeah, that's about it for me.
Cool.
That's me.
Ollie? Oh.
I'm just Bub. I'm everywhere. Look up the Bub or Not. I'm doing things, writing games, telling stories, laughing at anything that's funny at this point. Just trying to find humor in this weird ass world.
Dot.
I'm a Dot, little red dot. You can find me online, just like Bub said, in all the places. Check it out. Go look it up. I'm doing a lot of new projects, new podcasts coming out, new stuff happening. So just go follow me, and that way you can find out about it on your own time.
Cool. Mathis.
Mathis, you can find me everywhere as Mathis, Illuminati podcast as well. Every week you can go listen to me talk about weird conspiracy theories, aliens, ghosts, and all that good stuff. And that's it, which you can then go over to EE. And what do you do, EE?
God knows. Probably like have 5 pints after this. YouTube.com/Trilliseum, Twitch.tv/Trilliseum. Right, that done. Let's have a look at today's tips. There's a $10 tip from Darkblade. That encounter was crazy. The moment the fangs running across her neck and then back again, backing away, that was tension to the max. Yeah, Darkblade. Yep. Yep. Anyway, we're gonna go do a after show thing. Tomorrow there's The Last Ditch. If you want to watch that, it's no time. Bye. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Bye.
Bye.